Sports 1440.
Number 13 on his drive, Boston McCaffrey. It's blocking and a touchdown.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Here's another chance for the empty.
Well, a tremendous Tuesday. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, of course, for Sports 1440, also Oilers Nation as well. Welcome back to the show. Thanks, as always, for making us part of your afternoon drive home, or maybe you're listening on the podcast later. Thanks, as always, for listening, downloading, watching the show. It's brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And, of course, every day now we have the new Jason Gregor Show picks for you. If you choose, you can you can do anything, instance, lottery, live dealer, casino, but we get you some odds boost a little bit better. So we have two different plays for you because there's only one game in the National Hockey League tonight, and that is the Oilers in Dallas. One game tonight, then there's 15 games tomorrow. Everybody plays except Edmonton and LA. Then nobody plays on Thursday. Then everybody plays on Friday except Edmonton and Seattle. And then the Oilers play on Saturday, an afternoon game in Seattle. And so tonight we have the Oilers to win. Skinner makes 22 saves. Ottinger makes 26 or more saves. Parlay that. Or number two is McDavid, 3 shots on goal. How about this? Do you know how many home games the Edmonton Oilers have, Connor Halley?
No, I do not know.
8. Do you know how many shots Connor McDavid has in 8 home games? 34.
Oh.
Yes. So
okay.
He's had at least 3 shots in every home game. In case you're wondering why, we went with McDavid, 3 shots on goal. And then we have Bouchard with 1 assist, and Bouchard finishing as a plus player in the game. So those are the 2 different ones. If you want to check it out, you can at PlayAlberta.ca. Just go to sports, click on sports, and then on the left side, you'll see the Jason Gregor Show, and you'll have it there with some odds boosts. So not bad at all. Coming up on the show today, we're going to hear from Matthias Ekholm, Adam Henrique, Chris Knobloch, as the Oilers get set to take on the red-hot Dallas Stars, who are 6-1-1 in their last 8 games, And how about this? In their last 6 games, Jason Robertson, 10 goals, 14 points in his last 6 games. That guy is on fire. So, yes, there's no Mikko Rantanen, but the Edmonton Oilers, they need to be aware of Jason Robertson, who is streaking. He is lighting things up. He is saying, hey, I want to make Team USA, right? 10 goals, 4 assists, 14 points in 6 games. He's got 33 shots. He's averaging 5 shots a game in that span. Guy's on fire. So the Oilers will need to be aware of him tonight. No Rantanen, no Harley, no Lundqvist on the back end, no Ilya Lyubushkin. Meanwhile, the Oilers, no Nugent Hopkins, no Kapanen. I think you'll see both of them return on Saturday in Seattle. Jake Wallman still not skating. I think it's probably unlikely maybe that he's going to be ready. We'll see by Saturday. I could see him getting a few extra days, and then they start their 5-game homestand a week tonight. So there you have it. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440 is where you can text us in our inbox. We already got texts coming in already on that, so we'll get to those. Last night in the National Hockey League, you had, the Nashville Predators. They are, they're tanking. They're doing what they should be doing, to be honest. And just because they're not that good, they got spanked last night, 8-3. Now, they actually outshot the Panthers 39-26, but they are struggling defensively. Logan Cooley, a 4-goal game. It's his second hat trick of the season. Cooley, Bedard, Celebrini, all each with multiple hat tricks this season. Jacob Chikrin scored twice. The Capitals win again over the Blue Jackets, who got some bad news. Zach Werenski injured. And Team USA, they got a lot of guys banged up right now. The LA Kings got a win. Warren Fogle, who's off to a little bit of a slow start compared to last year, ended up with the scoring the game opening goal, and they put Brant Clark on the power play, and shocking, he scored a power play goal. Now maybe move him to the first unit power play because the Kings' first unit is terrible. I would move him there. So I mentioned tonight only one game in the NHL. Last night, NFL, you had a nut shot. Did you see Panthers DB Morig? He just came right under, and that is as blatant of a nut shot that I've seen in a long time. He's trying to, who do you think you're hiding from? There's cameras all over the place. He got Jennings right in the twig and berries. It wasn't even close. Like that. So he gets a 1-game suspension. Like, what an idiot. First of all, it's extremely cheap. You don't just wound up and crush a guy in the family jewels. That's one of the biggest faux pas I can think of. Like spitting in someone's face. Brutal. We saw that last week in the NFL. And now you got a straight uppercut right to the junk. I still think spitting's worse, but the junk shot is pretty close, Connor Halley.
Yeah, I mean, every guy knows it, right? I'm glad the NFL acted so quickly, wasting no time at all. Trevon Moore, you're suspended. Don't appeal it. You'll get the same treatment that Jamar Chase got when he tried to do that with us. We saw you do it. There's no denying it. And Juwan Jennings, good on him for holding off and then waiting till the post game to do it. Sneaky veteran move right there. Got his shot, and I'm sure he'll get a fine for that one. But it's 2025, man. There's cameras everywhere. You're not going to get away with it. Just stupid.
Yeah, that was a dumb play by them. San Fran gets the win 20-9, and the Panthers mathematically they're still in it, but it's tough in the NFC because you have the Rams, the Eagles, the Bears, the Bucks. Now I guess they're still in it because they're only 1 game back of the Bucks, right? And they do have a bye, so. Now Tampa Bay, I think, has the easiest schedule remaining, but the health of Baker Mayfield will be a big question mark for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But for the San Francisco 49ers, that is a huge win, gets them in the number 7 seed. Man, there's going to be some good teams who miss the playoffs because you got the Rams, the Eagles, the Bears. Now the Bucks are the number 4 seed, and then Seahawks 8-3, Packers 7-3-1. San Fran 8-4. The Lions are 7-4. Now they have a game in hand on San Fran. So, if they win it, then they're tied. But yeah, and what about the Cowboys? Maybe suddenly you can't even count out the Cowboys after their second half against the Eagles. You're telling me there's a chance. So even out in the AFCs, lots of teams at 6-5, and none of them are technically in the playoffs right now. Well, I guess the Ravens are because they lead the division, but Texans, Steelers, Chiefs, all 6-5. So we're going to have 3 probably decent teams miss the playoffs over there as well. So should be fun as we get to that stretch of the season. The Edmonton Oilers and Oiler fans, okay, they had a tough, we know they've had a tough start to the season. Not only in the results, but travel, schedule. You can't deny it. 16 out of 24 games on the road. It's not an easy schedule. It evens out over the course of the year. Everybody plays 41 games at home. Everybody plays 41 games on the road. Some just do it at different times. Right now, the Oilers are very much road warriors. Meanwhile, Toronto, on the other hand, they're the hometown team. Which one would you rather be? You'd probably rather be the Oilers because despite not being where they want to be, they now have a lot of home games coming up, and they've been good at home at 5-1-2. Really, it was just that Colorado game, which was dreadful. Other than that, they've been really good at home ice. And they got to start tonight against a red-hot Dallas Stars team. Now, no Mikko Rantanen. Mikko Rantanen currently leading the NHL in power play points, leading the NHL in penalty minutes. No. That's what happens when you get 5 in a game misconduct in 2 out of 3 games. Your penalty minutes are going to skyrocket. Jumps up 30 penalty minutes right there for Rantanen, because of course you get 10 minutes for game misconduct, for those who don't know. I look at Dallas's power play, and without Rantanen, it definitely won't be as effective, but it's still one you got to watch out for. So the Oilers now, I guess the good news is they don't take a lot of power play. They don't take a lot of penalties, but the Dallas Stars have the second best power play in the NHL, just slightly ahead of the Oilers. They also get way more power play opportunities, 13 so far, than the Edmonton Oilers, and Edmonton's played 2 more games. So Edmonton's got to find a way to start drawing more penalties. You're a faster team. Play with speed more. Being faster, if you don't use it, doesn't benefit you. Now, we've talked a lot about the last week. I've seen a lot of chatter, people, the Oilers have changed their system. Now, you'll still have some people. The coach said nothing's changed. The player said nothing changed. But I see people, but you know what? These commenters on Twitter told me, so it's got to be true. Okay. Right. Well, this guy said, because you showed this one video, here where they had a stretch pass. Yeah, I'm going to let you listen to Adam. I'm going to read you Adam Henrique's answer about the stretch pass. Because I like talking to Adam. He's, I think there's a guy that when he's done will probably be involved in hockey. Really smart dude. But asked him about the stretch pass because he's like, oh yeah. So what do you say to that? Here's his answer. The stretch pass isn't typically a set play, meaning it's not part of your system. The odd time it is set, but usually not. Sometimes I feel you hit the stretch guy and he's up by himself. And I find a lot of times that is often off of a line change and you're trying to play fast and get right back into the offensive zone instead of setting up behind the net and taking our time to come back up the ice. We haven't changed much at all in our system. It's just that sometimes when it isn't going your way, it looks like things have changed. We just need to make more correct plays, and I think we have started to the past few games. So there was Henrique on the stretch pass, because I've seen a lot of people talking about, the stretch passes. They've changed their system due to the stretch play, which happens a few times. No. Sometimes, I think a lot of people, you're almost exposing yourself. You don't really understand. You've never played within a system in hockey. You can have we have a breakout. Then you might have a neutral zone forecheck, right? A neutral zone. Maybe you're passive a little bit more. Maybe you play the wedge, which is what the Oilers do in the neutral zone. And now the Oilers are going to change tonight. If you watch the game, you will notice a difference, and maybe you won't. But the difference tonight will be the first time they've actually made a change in their 5-on-5 play. And it's going to come in the neutral zone. And I mentioned this yesterday on the show, but I got confirmation again today from some players that, yes, they are changing how they attack in the neutral zone. They want to protect more of the middle of the ice, send players to the ditch, I call it, from the dots out to the boards. That's the ditch. The highways in between the dots. But the Oilers, if you've watched them, they've had their wedge where a lot of times you're stationary a bit. The Oilers are not going to do that anymore. They're going to be in motion more in the neutral zone. So you move, you feel like you're playing quicker. If you create turnovers, you can transition quicker. And so that's what they're going to do. So look for that tonight against the Dallas Stars. If you're somebody who's looking about systemic changes, there's one. Okay. Just because people say and they show you like one video, look at this play here, that means they've changed their system. No, that's one play. And just because you do it 8 times in 22 games doesn't mean it's a systemic thing, right? There's lots of ad-libbing in hockey, especially at the NHL level, where the game is super fast and guys make quick second decisions all the time. Yeah, you want to play within your structure. We're going to be aggressive forecheck, in our own zone, but you can't have a breakout every time the way you want it. Hey, we only like to break up this way. There's literally multiple different options. Are we breaking out from behind the net? Are we breaking out on a turnover at the dots? Are we breaking out on a turnover high in our zone? Where are we breaking out? Right? Was there a broken play that turns over the puck in the corner? Does it turn over the puck in the middle of the zone? Like, thinking that just because you break out on a stretch pass a few times means, well, that's the change of the system. No, it isn't at all. And I think it's exposing people who want to claim that they're big systemic people when they use 1 or 2 video highlights and say with certainty that this is how a team is playing. And that's something that's new that's really popped up the last year and a half online, right? I see some guy, oh, you know what? I worked 1 year for the Marlies, so now I'm a systems expert. Really? If you were, then why didn't they keep you? It's always my question. Because I'll tell you this, it's hard to get fired in the NHL, right? Once you kind of get into the circle, you got to be pretty bad not to get a second chance. That's just a fact. Anybody out there sees the hiring practices, right? It's just how it is. And a lot of walks of life, you might be in real estate, you might be in construction. There are some people that once you get in, it's a little bit easier to stay in. So anyway, the orders, if you are believing in a system change, there hasn't been one yet, but there will be tonight in the neutral zone. Oilers lineup tonight, exact same from what you saw in Florida. No Nugent Hopkins, no Kapanen, no Wallman, no Philp, no Lazar. So McDavid will stay with Savoy and Roslovic. You'll have Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Mangiapane, Henrique with Frederick and Hyman. Tomasic between Janmark and Clattenburg. On the back end, Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Regula, Kulak, Emberson, Stuart Skinner will get the start in goal tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Meanwhile, the Dallas Stars, they got some injury problems of their own and suspensions. So guys that they are without tonight, no Matt Duchene, no Mikko Rantanen, no Ilya Lyubushkin, Nils Lundqvist, Thomas Harley. Those guys, they're all out. So up front, you got Rupe Hintz with Tyler Seguin and the red hot Jason Robertson. Wyatt Johnson with Sam Steele and Jamie Benn. Justin Perkonian with Maverick Bork and Oscar Bach. And then you've got Faxa with Blackwell and Nate Bastian. On the back end, Esa Lindell, Miro Heiskanen. You've got Kyle Capobianco on the left side, Klea Chonak on the right, Lane Bichelle, and then the local boy, Alex Petrovic. The last 2 seasons, he played a lot of the time in the American League and got called up both years to play in the playoffs. And now finally the Stars like, oh, you know what, geez, we played this guy at the most important time of the year. He's probably good enough to play with us all year long. And that's what he's doing. So it's great to see for a really good guy, Alex Petrovic. Take a quick break. Coming up on the show today, we will hear from Struddy's going to join us right off the hop. We'll get to some Oilers audio. We got Dave McCarthy, Tater in the 2-minute warning. Owen Newkirk will join us from Dallas. Ike Howard is going to be by today. Talk about his first few games down in Bakersfield. Derek Van Diest, also TR, should be joining us from Toronto and more on a busy Tuesday edition of The Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both.
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the only place to call for heating your home. So when it's time to replace your old furnace, call Legacy. Call Legacy. Or for 24-hour repair with no overtime rates. Legacy even heats your shower with hot water tanks. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. And with no interest and no payments for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at Cantork.com.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Aloha Edmonton, it's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and you can play score and win every game. See more at ontherocksyeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.222 game day. Oilers Stars, the only game in the National Hockey League tonight. So all eyes of the NHL will be on your team, Oiler fans, and we'll see how they respond. Tonight, they're looking to go 6-1-2 on home ice. It'll be Skinner versus Ottinger. No Rantanen. He's suspended. No Harley for the Stars. No Lyubushkin. No Wallman. No Nugent-Hopkins. No Kapanen. Philip Lazar as well for the Edmonton Oilers. So a little bit of walking wounded and suspended between both sides tonight. And could be some, neither one of these teams is an overly physical team. But, Dallas has lost 2 years in a row to Edmonton. Do they have a little bit of payback? Maybe. Jason Robertson, red hot. Man, he's got like some men's league numbers. 10 goals, 4 assists in his last 6 games. Pretty damn impressed. 10 goals in 6 games. You kidding me? He is now tied with Leon Draisaitl for 10th in NHL scoring. Let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Summit Restaurant in Silent Ice Arena, just on the south side of Edmonton. Fantastic place to watch. Hey, whatever's going on, you can sit right in the middle. You can see if you got 2 kids playing on different sheets, you can watch them both at the same time in comfort. Great food. Check it out at the Summit Restaurant on the south side. Jason Strudwick joins us now. Struddy, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you making out, buddy?
I am. I'm pretty good. I'm real good, actually. So your infatuation of ABBA helped me in Connections. I don't know if you play Connections on, but it was one of the hints the other day with all the titles. Mamma Mia, the second word in ABBA songs, and I nailed it. So I should have taught you because I listen more to ABBA now because of you. Not gonna lie.
Everyone should listen more to them. They're unreal.
Well, now. Struddy, there's been a lot of talk about the order system and how they change it, and the coach says they haven't changed it. The players say they haven't changed it. And I asked Matthias Ekholm about it today. I'm like, you haven't changed your system. So, and it's been very good for 2 years. So why all the struggles? And, it gave a pretty thoughtful answer. He said, man, people want to use an excuse. He says, you just can't overlook the emotional toll of the, 2 years of playing hockey. Now you try to, fire it back up again. You've lost twice. You're playing 16 out of 24 on the road. He goes, it's not an excuse, but mentally we're just not sharp. So how do you get your mental sharpness back as a group?
Well, that's tough. I mean, I never experienced that, and I can't imagine having to go through that. You go that far. So imagine how these games feel, intensity-wise and kind of do or die-wise. No disrespect to the 13th game of the year, 14th game of the year that people pay to go watch. But, everyone's more excited about Game 7, and they've been there twice in the finals of the Stanley Cup. So, they're trying to find their way back. I think they're really trying to fake it until they do make it, right? And that's kind of what's crazy because this team has played good defense. This team has been way better 5-on-5 than they've shown so far this year in the past years. And, factor in all those road trips, you factor in the injuries they've had, and then the 2 really long summers without parties, because you're not partying when you lose a Stanley Cup. You're just sour, right? Maybe you're just drinking by yourself. So this group does have a long ways to get going up, but they're right in that fight. They will get there. I say it might not be till Christmas they'll be floating around at this level of hockey.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The truth of the matter is, the games aren't as intense. The truth is, you got to start winning some games here. And, they've shown a little bit of signs. 2 games isn't going to mean that they're out of it, but their last 2 games are at least trending in the better direction for the group. Now you go up against a Dallas team that, even though they're without Rantanen, they're pretty good lately. There's no Harley, but they played very well. That first home game after a long road trip. Now, the Oilers had an extra day off because I've seen sometimes you come home off a road trip and you play 2 days later. Like you come home Saturday night and you play Monday. The Oilers don't play Tuesday. Is that extra day a benefit or does it make it worse?
I think it can't hurt, because you got the day off and it was a pretty long flight home, like Florida, Edmonton, 6 or 7 hours. So that's a pretty long one. But just imagine how it would feel to wear the same clothes for 12 days. Now, it's a lot. You want to get fresh clothes, sleep in your own bed. So I think a couple nights in their own bed, I think that makes a big difference over just one. I'm actually looking at some of the first year or younger players or newer players to this team to kind of help get this going. If I was on this team and I was Mangiapane, I haven't been on that long run that a lot of these core guys have. I try to take it on myself to get the energy going both before and after the game, right? You can do that. Trent Frederick was there, but he was there for 2 years. Savoy, these types of guys bring the energy, in the room, get the guys fired up, and then you bring it every single shift so maybe those other guys can feed off a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally valid. And, even for a few games, Clattenburg, I talked to Adam Henrique about him. Yeah. And, and Henrique actually this year, like he said, you look at his line mates, Ike Howard first games. To remember, like his first game was like game 1000. He had Tomasic and Howard, and they'd combined like 4 games, right? So he's played with a lot of young guys, and there's excitement. But Clattenburg's a little different because he's is a little bit more of an agitator. He's a little bit more emotional. And, Henrique said that actually can be a good thing at times because it just gets you in the game more.
Well, I mean, the interview that he had with his older sister during this first game where he said, what's it like growing up as Connor's little brother? Like, he was a pain in my ass or a pain in my butt. And it seems like everyone else feels the same way. And I love that answer. And, I thought he played well. Now, your first game, you're flying. Your feet don't touch the ice. You're so excited. But I loved at the end of the game, he was looking to jump somebody, right? He was not sitting back. And we've all played with that guy, in men's league, on growing up that just can't help themselves but to get into it. So I think that he's a guy that can really bring some energy for this group. Is he a solution long-term here? Or I guess in the short term as far as the next, 10, 20 games? I don't know. But while he's here, I think he could bring his energy. And, every now and then, throw him up with Connor or Leon. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? Get him in there. Imagine if this guy scored his first goal assisted by Connor McDavid tonight. The excitement. So, again, I'm not advocating for this guy to be on the first line. But if you're coming out of a penalty, let's say, someone gets a penalty that it kind of messes up the rotation on the penalty kill. You're coming out of that, you go, Connor, Leon, Clattenburg. Can you imagine the whole bench would just look back like, what did you just say? And the energy you would create. And I think sometimes coaches miss that. they're a little bit too robotic. You're looking for opportunities to create energy out of nothing. And I'll give you an example. When I played the Canucks, we were struggling one night, and all of a sudden I was a defenseman, and I hear Bertuzzi, Naslund, Strudwick. And I'm like, what? I look down, and Crawford's like, left wing Struddy. So I went out there and ended up actually scoring a goal, and the boys went crazy. Like, it was so exciting for everyone to see this. So Clanberg he's not your answer to your top six, but he can be an answer to short-term energy bursts. And man, that would be a sweet thing to have for this group.
Oh, well, the crowd would go absolutely bananas. Edmonton fans, they love kind of the meat potatoes kind of hard hat guy. And honestly, like Edmonton, and I've said it, Struddy, like I'm trying to think the last time the Oilers had a rat. It's funny, like when they won championships, they had the original rat, Kenny Linsman. And, Esa Tikkanen could, give a woodpecker a headache. Glenn Anderson was pretty cheap. He was a superstar, but he's still pretty cheap. Messier was dirty as hell. But they haven't, like, if you look in this era, like Rafi Torres, could hit and was a menace. He didn't chirp guys a lot, but he kept you on your toes because he would rattle you with some big hits. They really, like Zach Stortine would go around, but he wasn't like a rat per se. It was a very respectful player, really, at the end of the day. They haven't really had that, right? Like Cassian had it for stretches, right? Didn't do it consistently enough. But man, if they could get a guy who could just, and I say Nick Cousins, to me, that's the player. That's who Clattenburg, I look and say that could be a realistic career path for him, is to become Nick Cousins.
Yeah, and that's an option. Like they had Kane, who was pretty good at it. Perry as well.
Skilled, you know what I mean? Like he was.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit different. So you're talking about a guy who's more in that bottom third of the lineup, and he could. I mean, it's hard because as an organization, you're looking at him and say, okay, what is this guy going to be? And if he's strictly on talent, maybe he's not the most talented guy, but that element here you're talking about, that Nick Cousins, that Esa Tikkanen, and not these types of that Ryan Kessler situation, that all of a sudden elevates you above. Not just one or two, it's like hundreds, thousands of players, because now you separate yourself and you're always looking for that opportunity. How do I separate myself in the eyes of my organization to get into this league? And I don't think that for Clanberg, it's a thing that he's going to have to fake it. I think this is what he is. He listened to his mom. So for me with this player, they should be using their skilled coach before and after practice with him, whether he's in the NHL or the AHL, and working on the specific areas they need. And even the video coach, hey, let's sit down, let's watch, some of your shift, but let's watch some of the shifts that this player is doing or this player, because this is what we think you can do. So really invest time in this player. You've already got the staff in place. Invest the time in this player to develop him so he becomes what you need, because you can develop a guy. I forget what he was, Craig. Wasn't he like a 5 or 6 pick or something like that? Yeah. So, I mean, that's huge to find a player that could be in that. And like you said, he would be beloved by this fan base for eternity if he can become that guy for this team.
And I really think your teammates, they know that a guy like that, they respect it, because 99% of them wouldn't do the role, right? Like it's hard. It's hard to be the guy who's hated by the opposition.
It is, but some people embrace it. Sean Avery, I played with him. He loved it. He wanted it. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? And honestly, as a teammate, it's nice because some nights, not that you're looking for an easy night, but you're like, yeah, let's just play this game. And then this guy runs someone. Let's just say he runs Jason Robertson tonight. Well, all hell's breaking loose. Hello, Trent Frederick. Hello, Darnell Nurse. Hello, all these guys are all of a sudden like, now it's my turn. And you jump in there and all of a sudden you're involved. Your emotions are going crazy. And it's so much fun. Like it is, when I look back, those are the games I enjoyed the most. Because it was just like out of nowhere. Like you're just sitting there minding your own business. The next thing you know, you're getting the tap because there's going to be a fight out there. And I really enjoyed those types of players. So, I mean, for Clanberg, the team has to do them right. They have to really develop this player right.
Jason Strudwick joins us here, Sports 1440. Oilers in Dallas tonight, the only game in a light night in the National Hockey League. Regula and Nurse playing together again. But I do want to talk, we'll get into them in a second, but Evan Bouchard and November Struds as being the Oilers' best player, definitely best defenseman. I'd argue he's been their best player. Like he's been really good. Chris Maubach told me today he thinks the last week is the best he's seen Bouchard play at any point, including the playoffs.
Oh, wow. That's pretty high praise. And yeah, listen, he had a tough start and he wasn't alone on that. Yes. But, when Evan makes a mistake, it's a 5-alarm one, right? That's I think what is hard at times. But he makes so many good plays that are at times subtle, Some of the passes we've seen him make, some of the plays he's broken up are amazing. So he's found it. I think that's really important. I think Ekholm's starting to find his groove again. With Wallman out right now, that's not ideal because I don't think he's been at his best. Darnell still, I think, has another gear to hit. Kulak, the same thing. And then Regula and Emerson. Although Emerson, I thought last game was pretty physical. And I'd like to see that more from him because when I spoke to someone in San Jose, they said he was actually a physical demon. I thought he got away from that a bit. He needs to bring that back, I think, consistently. So this back end is the most important part of their team as far as a group. I think they're so solid. They're so deep. They need this to play well. But it starts at the top with Evan and Matthias for sure.
Yeah, well, 100%. And you're right about Emerson. I think, you get in the game more, right? Like just the more you have a few guys hitting there, and not everybody can hit every game, but if you have a few guys and it almost comes a little bit of a rotation, it works out a little bit better for them. Jack Roslovic, Struddy, obviously he's had a very good start for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, this is not the first time he's had a very good start. And I know there's lots of people, January 1st, you got to re-sign him right away. And I'm like, because he has a reputation like that, do you have to wait longer on Roslovic to kind of see what he does in March and even April before you consider an extension?
Playoffs, man. And last year, Carolina sure could have used a guy like that, right? He had a good year. And then as the playoffs went on, he missed games. So, what kind of a contract did he get from them? Well, he didn't. And then all summer, he didn't get anything. So there's a part that we haven't seen yet. I think at times I've seen some defensive lapses or decisions with the puck that are that have to be changed. That they have to understand the situation. Maybe not quite getting inside the area to block the shot. You're close to it, but not quite finishing that. I look at that as something that'd be very eyes open. For $1.5 million, he's doing great, and he's on pace for whatever 60-some points. He even gets 50 points for $1.5 million. That's an amazing deal. But can you count on him for sure, 100%, to be a top six forward when it gets heavy? When it gets heavy against, I'm guessing they have to go through Dallas. They're definitely going to have to go through maybe Colorado. I mean, others in this, just on this side, we haven't got to the eastern side. So there is no rush to sign him. He costs you nothing to get. It's $1.5 million. He's doing well here, but I want to see those little items cleaned up on the far side, because it's one thing for Connor Leon to make a small mistake with the puck. It's another for Roslovic to do it. And I think he's got to be really attentive to those situations.
Struddy, even though it's a very cheap play, I have to say I was impressed by the creativity in which Ben Sherratt used his butt end last night on I don't know if I've ever seen a no-look butt end.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't see the whole game, but I love it when that's a situation where I'm talking about where it kind of just starts out and all of a sudden there's a lot of people that are angry at each other. And I like that. I want to see some animosity in there. And it was a cheap butt end. Sherratt's been around a long time. I don't think we see a lot of butt ends. At least maybe they're not reported or maybe we don't catch them out the naked eye or on TV. So it's pretty rare. And honestly, $5,000 Sherratt. He's been in the NHL for 1,000 years. That's nothing. But I don't know if he even got his money's worth. Do you think he got his money worth at $5,000?
Nemec keeled over pretty good there. Looked like he winded him.
Fair point. All right.
So I thought he was like, message definitely was sent. There's no question. Now you see the LA Kings are fuming because, Corey Perry's chin had like a real good indent. It looked like of the butt end of Sherratt right in his chin, and he got all the stitches, but there was no call on that one. So Sherratt's probably like, hey, I got away with one. I'm going to try to do it again. But this time the eagle eye camera caught him. But, the Detroit Red Wings, like, hey, if you want to win, you have to have a little bit of nasty in your game at times.
Yeah, a little spice and playing hard. And it's funny, look at Detroit when they started out the year, then McLennan all of a sudden kind of gives it to them after just a handful of games, kind of gets their attention. Like, you've got to compete. You got to show up. It's not just going to happen. It can't be vanilla. And so I think that's a pretty good start for them to show a little bit of juice and continue to show juice. I think for the Oilers, I think we've seen more scrums in the last couple of games than we perhaps saw in the previous 15 to 20. Now, I don't know how many scrums per 60 minutes you need to win NHL games, but I definitely know it's more than zero. So I think that's important for them to get involved in that.
And I want to get your thoughts as a guy, who played in lots of different teams, lots of different coaches, lots of different systems. And, there's there's been a real bit of debate. Oh, the Oilers changed their system, even though the coach said they didn't. The players have said they haven't changed anything. But in the course of a system study, it doesn't mean that you only break out one way, right? Like, can you kind of explain to people when we talk about a defensive system, what that entails and why it isn't limited to only one or two breakouts?
So when you're doing a breakout, obviously the biggest thing is try to get the puck into the forward stick as quickly as you can, and they can have some space to make a play. So it's two things. One, we have to get the puck back quickly, and then two, you have to create a little separation for yourself from the guy who's on you or you took the puck from, and then pass it to someone who's doing the same thing. The forwards get skating and make it happen. And it's a trend right now in the NHL and a lot of hockey where the forwards are gone. As soon as the D-men get it, they're gone, and you're launching that puck up. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, okay, we'd rather have a turnover or a bobbled puck at the far blue line rather than at our blue line, right? Yeah. So they're getting it out of harm's way. They're like, we're just getting rid of this thing and getting up. And sometimes you can catch other teams sleeping. You can get a break. It doesn't happen often, but it happens at times. But what I like sometimes is if you keep doing that, they start backing off. Now the underside guy's there, maybe a center, or maybe, someone, your partner. You can throw it over to your partner and get it. And now you've pushed everyone back, and that opens up the soft underbelly to get that puck, and then you can skate it up. So I think that's a conversation that the coaches have to have with the forwards and the D, saying, listen, if Leon, Connor, and Nuge are all gone and they're sprinting and there's no one there to pass to, someone's got to come back to the puck, work your way back to the puck. We can hammer that puck up to you. Now we're going up. The problem with that is as you're waiting, that's a lot of pressure on your D-man. It's not like the other team stops trying to get the puck back. So I don't love it when they're gone all the time. I think it's nice to have one guy back, just to have it out. But if no one else is there, your partner's over there, strong side to weak side, and he can go up the other side.
The one change that you will see tonight in the Oilers is in their neutral zone when Dallas is exiting their zone. Edmonton was doing the wedge a lot. They're going to go for, and it was kind of a stationary wedge, if you saw it, right? They had guys kind of standing still in the neutral zone on a wedge almost. They've changed it. They're going to be more aggressive and they're going to have movement, which makes sense. They're a quicker team this year. So I think they feel like they've been giving up too much of the highway, the middle of the ice. And so they're going to try to force them into the ditch, but they're going to pressure more. So look for them in the neutral zone today, Struddy. And how do you think that can benefit them? And how does it make it harder for Dallas, where suddenly you're not as much stationary wedge in the neutral zone?
Standing still is scary. I never like that because if someone gets, if let's say the person in front of me doesn't do their job, all of a sudden I have Jason Robertson flying at me 1,000 miles an hour, and I look like I'm on roller skates. So a little bit of movement is nice, just to have even a little bit of speed, and you can kind of angle the guy off. What I like by this idea is that you can cut them off prior to the red line. So you're making them, dump it in, or they have to turn back, or just shuttle the play completely. So I like that idea a lot more than them able to get in the red line. I like that, John, trying to shut it off at the red line. So maybe everyone moves up a little bit, and now we're trying to pinch them off there, and you can have, the winger come out, or whoever I guess would be the winger, maybe the D-man pinch up and jam that puck. And then what happens is the puck goes behind the D, he chips to his partner, boom, and we're gone the other way right away. So what looked like a good transition from Dallas is suddenly now a quick transition for the Oilers, and you're gone.
Struddy, great stuff. Your Giants finally axed their DC. They got tired of blowing leads in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you know what? I listen. I'm the most positive Giants fan. We just need to lose and just start over, just fire, or just slowly. It's like amputation, just slowly. Everyone has to be cleaned out. I don't know why we're going little by little. Just say, hey, you can finish the year off, and we're going to fire everyone at the end. But I just want a question for you. Why did you never return my queries about the ice that I was offering some honey for you to get that ice? And I noticed you have some for this year. You still didn't answer my question. I don't know what I have to do to get this deal done.
Well, Struddy, you're like the guy in fantasy football, which doesn't surprise me. The worst trade offers, and so you don't even respond now, right? You just like, you know what? The best is like, this is a waste. I don't have the energy to even waste a response on those type of offers, right? But it is good ice, actually. Because our schedule's kind of screwed us over. We rarely do ever play Saturday nights, but now we have a game Saturday. So if anybody's looking for a 1 hour ice slot this Saturday night at Nate Arena, 7:45, there's no Oiler game because they play at 2. It's a perfect ice slot. So if you're interested, send me a text, 833-401-14.
Don't offer him anything for trade. He's really tight with the trades, people.
Well, Freddie, are you playing fantasy football this year?
I am. Yeah, I am. I'm doing pretty well, but I haven't fleeced anyone to trade for a couple of years. I got to get back in the mix.
Oh my God. Has anybody returned one of your trade requests this year?
Actually, I did offer, I think it was Addison for, who was it? Someone pretty good, maybe Josh Allen. I said Josh Allen's on his way down. It got rescinded before I even said enter.
Can't believe it. I can't believe it, Spenny.
I know.
Jeez.
I know. He's like you with the honey, just unreasonable.
Yeah. And I love honey too, but not that much. Freddie, we'll see how the Oilers play tonight against Dallas.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Thanks, buddy. Talk to you later.
It's Jason Strudwick.
Listen to the Jason Gregor Show, presented by
podcast, and he makes
PlayAlberta.ca. Remember, if you gamble,
send us random text to the show about Struddy's trade offers, and oh my goodness, they are. And I'm sure he does it just to get a reaction at times. So I'm like, just don't respond, because then all you're doing is now you're pouring gas on his fire. That's what he wants. He wants a response. So, but we do have an hour ice slot from our hockey team because we have a game now. On our practice slot that we have on Saturday. So if you want an hour ice slot this Saturday night at the Nain Arena from 7:45 to 8:45, and give a good deal on it. 833-401-1440. We'll return. We'll hear from Matthias Ekholm on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better at On the Rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts, and play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game.
Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter?
The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch. Wow. Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest warranty. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned, with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie, and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
It's the Nissan Black Friday event, a full month of excitement packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive offers. Right now, finance the Nissan Kicks for 0% for 24 months. Plus, get $1,000 Nissan bonus and enjoy an epic ride wherever you go. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? By Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at Cantork.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$250, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. It is time for the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. Go Auto, your best option if you're looking for vehicles. Over 15,000 to choose from. 67 locations, 30 different models. They got it all. GoAuto.ca. The Edmonton Oilers, of course, taking on the Dallas Stars tonight. And Matthias Ekholm, I'd asked him about, because, there's just so much focus on the system play, and there hasn't been any change. So I asked him so you haven't changed your system, then what's been missing where you haven't been able to defend as well as you have the last few years?
I mean, great question, but you got to somewhat have some respect for the amount of hockey we've played in the last 2 years as well. I mean, you look at Florida; they're not the same as they were in the playoffs. I'm sure they will be though in 5-6 months from now. So that's just the nature of it. You got to make sure you stay in it, and obviously don't give yourself too big of a hole. But it is hard to mentally reset after playing that much hockey. So I think that's the biggest factor for me. And it comes down to obviously making sure you at least give enough to give yourself a chance. And I think that there's been a realization in here now that, it's been some 25 games here. So we got to try to turn the thing to a winning record. But I do think the mental part is a big one.
Yeah. And it's hard to overlook that. I think that is, I think that's fair on, it is as much as, like, I know we got texts like this, Gregor, it's their job. You have to show up. Okay. Do you show up every day? And are you great every day at your job? No. And the truth about your job or my job, and I've worked like this job is not a physically demanding job at all. I've worked physically demanding jobs, but even in the physically demanding jobs, I didn't have someone trying to stop me from doing my job. I just had to do it. Right? You work in the oil field, you just had to get it done. Right? You're working on the rigs. There's not someone up there trying to elbow you out of the way to stop you, right, from doing your job. It's just not the same. So you can't really compare the average person's job to professional sports. It's just different for a variety of reasons. Not better, just different. And the emotional toll for people for a variety of different reasons. You have something devastating happen to you. Might be as simple as, you know what? You're married. All of a sudden, your husband, your wife, they break up with you. You're at work. You're kind of in a fog for a while. Now people, hey, you know what? You got to go to work. Are you working to the best of your capabilities? It might be 3-6 months later and you're still not. Because it's human nature. So on the ice, you have your whole dream. You dream about it your whole life. Boom, you lose not once, but 2 years in a row. The games aren't as intense. Is there an emotional toll there? Yeah, well, the numbers would back it up that it is. Usually maybe it doesn't last this long. That's valid. Can the Oilers play better? 100%. And it's not an excuse, but it's like I'm looking at all the pieces. I don't think their skill set has eroded. I don't, and they haven't changed their system, despite some people claiming they have. The coaches and the players all tell me to a man, on and off the record, they haven't. Just not executing as well. And so their emotional level hasn't been at the height they want. And so with that comes a lack of execution. Then you have a lack of execution. And, Adam Henrique talks about sometimes you end up, you're trying to move the puck up too quick. So you go for what's kind of a lazier, easier out, which is a stretch pass. You move it up, great. It might be completed, but there's no one else up there. And now the play dies. Rather than maybe you're better off to regroup, go behind the net, come up as a unit. So, there's lots of different reasons why. And there's lots of different ways to break out of your zone. And just because you use a stretch pass 3 times in a game, that's not your system. That's just reading the play at certain times. And the Oilers, anybody who's watched the games, I think would agree that there's been lots of nights where their emotional investment did not match the opposition. Now, remember, the Oilers are the Western Conference champs 2 years in a row. Lots of teams, like you got a bigger, even though you're not the cup champ, you're still a pretty good team. Not to mention you got McDavid and Draisaitl. So teams probably show up a little bit more for you. And hey, you got to deal with it. That's just the reality. So you can talk about it and we can say, yes, that's part of the reason why. Okay. But that doesn't give you an excuse to just be terrible for 60 games. Otherwise, you're going to miss the playoffs. And I think the realization's kicked in. All right, okay, you know what? With 10 games slow start, and geez, now it's 15. Oh my God, now it's 20. Chop, chop. We got to get rolling. And, Ekholm's always pretty respectful and honest about, hey, you can't overlook it. Some people might not. And just because you don't want to hear it doesn't mean it isn't true, right? And I think with the Oilers struggling, it's easier at times to want to find a culprit. I'm going to blame the coach. He should get fired. You know what? I'm going to blame a defenseman. I'm going to blame the goaltending's terrible. And go down the list. You'll find different. Oh, no, it's the system now. That's what it's. Yeah, it's the system. I've got my pound of flesh. That's what I can sink my teeth into. And that's going to make me feel better rather than go, geez, maybe they're just not playing that well right now. Because it's a little bit harder to accept that at times. It's easier, and that's okay as a fan. It's easier to get upset and want to find solutions. That's what guys do. Ask any guy out there who's been married for any period of time. One of the things you learn is sometimes best not to solve the problem and just say, oh, I can see how that would be frustrating. Some of us, it might take a lot longer and still probably haven't mastered it. But you learn at times like, maybe I don't have to try to solve. Well, why didn't you do that? You learn that's not necessarily the best way, right? It's not the best way. So we'll see. Hey, Gregor, the Avalanche don't have trouble showing up. That's a team that's actually won with similar elite talent. So people show up to give Colorado their best effort too. Montana and Rice. What are you talking about? How many playoff series have the Avs won since they won the Cup 4 years ago? In 2022. Why are they fatigued? Why are they emotionally fatigued? It's two completely different things. Right? Two completely different things. They haven't gone through what the Oilers have gone through the last few years. Not even close. Like when you lose in the first round, you don't feel the pain as much as if you lose in the Stanley Cup final. Ask any player who's done it. It's not even close. Colorado's off to a good start. Awesome. But that has no comparison to the Oilers right now. It's like comparing apples and oranges. Yeah, they're both fruit, but after that, it changes drastically. So, yeah, I don't see the comparison. Colorado's a good team. Great. But they don't have the emotional baggage right now that Edmonton has. They just don't. Right? They're more fired up because they feel like they have been an underachiever for the last few seasons. If you ask Colorado Avalanche fans, right, they won the Cup. Remember when they won the Cup in 2022 and everyone was like, hey, the Avs, they're going to be a legit contender now. They should go back to back. They're going to have multiple cups, right? They haven't come close yet since winning in 2022. So they're probably more annoyed they've won, but they've underachieved. The Oilers have their heart broken. But the Avs, since winning the Cup, I think have won one round, right? They steamrolled the Jets the one year, and that was it, right? They can't beat Dallas. Like, Dallas can't beat Edmonton. Colorado can't beat Dallas. Edmonton can't beat Florida. That's kind of been what's happened the last few years in the playoffs. But I don't think you can compare right now the Oilers because the Avs won a Cup in 2022. I don't see the comparison between the two situations at all. Getting back to Chris Knobloch, asked him about Evan Bouchard and just his level of play lately, because I think Bouchard's probably been the Oilers' best player in November.
The last handful of games, absolutely. I think he's been playing as well as I've ever seen him play. The Florida game, I know he had 3 points. I know the first 2 goals, he made tremendous plays to set those up. Defensively, he's been physical. He's been separating the opposition from the puck and making those plays. So, yes, Evan got off to a slow start. I think this month of November, he could easily be our top player. And right now, this last week, he's even taken it to another level. So what I'm seeing of Evan right now, the way he's playing, is very familiar to what I've seen throughout the previous 2 playoffs.
Yeah, he's been really good. And they need him. Like, the Oilers are only 5-5-2 in the month of November. And if Bouchard hadn't found his game and McDavid and Draisaitl hadn't found, they're like, where would they be? It could be even worse. So, they need more guys now to find their game. And then they do it on a continual basis. Right? The last 2 games is probably the most back-to-back consistent efforts you got from your goaltenders. Like, Skinner had a really good game against the Rangers, but didn't follow up with it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you've had a good game here, but not consecutive, solid, not spectacular, but solid performances from your goalies. So now you build on that. Don't need to be spectacular, just be solid. Same defensively. And then when you have more areas of your game that are in the solid, and if one spectacular, then they'll be pretty good. Let's get to the Con Man, a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. They are now delivering. You can get meals, pre-cooked, quality meals, gourmet, chef-prepared meals, fresh, delivered right to your door. 2 locations, Sherwood Park and Edmonton. Check it out. I tried it last week. Oh, unreal. I would highly recommend the chicken and potatoes veggie one. Very, very good. Loca.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, the lone game on the ice in the NHL. Oilers and Stars down at Rogers Place. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro gets going at 6 right here on Sports 1440 in the association. You got 3 games tonight of NBA Cup group play at 5. Wizards host the Hawks, followed by the Magic and Sixers, and the Lakers taking on the Clippers. The International Testing Agency announced that Canadian swimmer Penny Alexiak has been given a 2-year ban from competition for anti-doping rule violations, saying that she committed 3 whereabout failures from October 2024 to June 2025. And some sad news to report as 6-time Scotties champion and 2-time world champion curler Colleen Jones had passed away at the age of 65 after a battle with cancer. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by former NHLer Terry Ryan, Dave McCarthy from SiriusXM NHL, and we'll hear another edition of Cam Tate's 2-Minute Warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Oodle Noodle Origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman.
Tremendous Tuesday. How are you? And
after his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David
1440.
And henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Get Black Friday prices now at The Brick. Skip the line and save big. Get 65% off reclining sofas when you buy the matching Love Cedar chair. Plus, get up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. And buy more, save more. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Mattresses are up to 40% off. And with every mattress purchase, you're entered for the chance to win a cruise. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
The Junior Prospects Hockey League sports season is now underway. The JPHL offers elite athletic and academic opportunities for players in the 14U, 15U, 17U, and 18U divisions. All games are broadcast live on Silent Ice TV, featuring a showcase-style schedule and competitive matchups across Western Canada. Players work with experienced coaches, trainers, and elite hockey personnel. Learn more about Western Canada's fastest-growing elite hockey development stream at juniorprospectshockeyleague.com.
I'm making my list, checking it twice. And guess what? I'm giving Will Hawk beef jerky to everyone, naughty and nice. Because honestly, everyone deserves a taste of Alberta's finest, no matter if they've been bad or good. So this holiday season, skip the chocolates and pass on the turkey. Make sure you're Will Hawking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Ho, ho, ho!
Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles, Culligan.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Three o'clock. Game day. Oilers taking on the Dallas Stars. Tonight, it'll be Skinner versus Ottinger, something you've seen many times the last few years. It's been a good outcome for the Edmonton Oilers, at least in the playoffs. No Rantanen, no Harley, no Lyubushkin for the Stars, no Matt Duchene, no Nugent Hopkins, no Wallman, no Kapanen, Philp, Lazar. So some banged up bodies on each side. The Oilers, though, look for Nugent Hopkins to play Saturday in Seattle. I think there's a pretty decent chance you could see Kasperi Kapanen play there as well. Jake Wallman, not as sure. Probably more likely next week. Give him another week off, basically. So we'll have to see. If he's skating tomorrow, then there's a chance. If I don't see him skating tomorrow, I think there's no chance because the Oilers will practice tomorrow. They practice Thursday, and then they fly out Friday because it is an early matinee game, 1 p.m. in Seattle on Saturday. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us in our UL inbox. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where, remember, if you go to click on sports and then you see the tab, the Jason Gregor Show, our daily specials get you some extra odds boosts. And we have a few different wagers if you want. Have some fun. McDavid, 3+ shots on goal. McDavid has 34 shots in 8 home games this year. He's had 3 in every game. So at home, he's been firing the pill. And we parlayed it with Evan Bouchard assist and Evan Bouchard finishing the night as a plus player. He is +9 in the month of November, despite the Oilers being 5-5-2. He's been really good for Edmonton. So that's one. The other one has the Oilers winning, Skinner making 22 or more saves, and Ottinger making 26 or more saves. So we'll see We'll see that one. If you like either one, check it out, playalberta.ca. Now, let's go to the Talk to Terry Ryan. We go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years, one of the most diversified electrical contractors in the province, and they are hiring second, third, fourth year electricians. That's you. You want to work for a fantastic company and don't just get a job, but a career. Check it out, actionelectrical.net. Next, is Terry Ryan. Joins us, TR. How you doing?
Not bad. How's everything out west?
Hey, I'm good. Sean Brown went out for a practice the other day with the Tofield Satellites and was gassed rather quickly, he said. His cardio wasn't up to par. I know you were playing the Detroit Red Wings alumni last night on 4 defensemen, and you're one of the D-men. How is TR's cardio right now?
It's actually pretty good because we have a skate every day at home. It's fortunate because I don't like, skating at night or barely gets too serious and stuff. So it's like basically Monday to Saturday at home, 12 o'clock, first 20 to sign in, a lot of ex-pro guys, a lot of junior guys still there. So it's a good skate. Okay. So my cardio when it comes to skating is pretty good by default because I skate every day.
Okay. All right. How was it last night? Who, any Red Wing alumni that you had fun with on the ice?
It was an absolute blast. When Mickey Redmond scored, the place it was thunderous.
Is he like 78?
Yeah, he's 78. Yeah, he I mean, he's obviously slow out there, and he's the exception. Most of them are guys that aren't that far removed, like Abdul Kader, Jason Williams, Dino Cicerelli played, Darian Hatcher played, Darren McCarty, John Ogrodnik.
Oh,
a lot of guys.
I think Johnny.
A lot of legends, yeah.
50-goal scorer a few times, but that guy can shoot the puck. So,
it's great because we go. It's such a unique experience, and I'm not trying to sell this, but I guess we're going to Edmonton, so take from what you will. But it's a lot of fun. It's like everybody's cheering for both teams. It's so unique to be in that kind of environment. It's an honor for us to be playing these legends. Obviously, I mean, we're all hockey fans and players and look up to these guys. And so I almost feel like a fan myself while we're playing the game. And then afterwards, everybody gets together. Last night we went to a place called Harry's right next to the Little Caesars Arena and, told stories, had some drinks and food with fans and all those alumni guys. So, I mean, it gets a bit overwhelming, to be honest, for me, because it's like living out a dream that you didn't really expect. I love playing hockey in front of a lot of people. I mean, I don't know what there last night. It was 13 or 14,000. And, but we're doing it in such a unique way. The show is the show, but it's acting, but we're really hockey players. So now we actually do get to play on the team. And, everybody's pretty elated with the way we're being treated and the reception of everything. It really is an awesome night out.
Now, do you know what is Brownie or Struddy, either one of them lacing it up with the Oilers alumni when they come to town? I know Pronger's on the team. Anyone else you know of?
No, I heard Strudwick's going to play, but I'm not really sure.
All right, stick them for us.
Oh yeah, it'll be a bit of fun. I don't usually see the lineup ahead of time, but what I've heard in Edmonton is that like a lot of the alumni are trying to play. Like at the very first last year, I remember some teams like having to really dig deep to find somebody, but apparently Edmonton, like there's like 50 guys that want to play the game, so it should be some great local legends like Struddy, but I think they're going to bring some people in for it.
Yeah. Now going to the Oilers, they finish a season-long 7-game road trip. And they managed to get a win in Florida. They play a gutsy effort in Tampa, couldn't hold on. They lose in overtime. But, that Florida game, young Clattenburg had his first game up. Now he's a depth guy, TR, right? And I don't think he's going to last a very long time, his first tour here in Edmonton. But I think there's going to be a job for him because of the style that he plays. And it's a unique style, TR, because to be like a rat agitator, there's not a lot of guys who do it in today's NHL. And it seems like it's kind of got to be your personality somewhat. And it seems like that's his personality. Like he enjoys it. He likes it. And when I look at this team, like it is something that has been lacking for a long time.
Yeah, and it's really noticeable, right? Like when he's out there, you can notice that energy. And I think, and you know, your teammates feed off of it, obviously. This shouldn't be news to anybody, but I think it kind of is. That kind of player is becoming more and more rare. Now, it's one thing to be a rat, but, you know, the type of rat to go out and finish the hits, to me, that's someone could chirp all they want, slash me the odd time, whatever, fight me, but when you just keep hitting and hitting and hitting, that's the kind of thing that wears you down and your teammates feed off of. And it does. There's a few teams in the league now with absolutely no hitting presence, and it blows my mind. And it's funny you even asked me that question, because today the trailer for Shoresy came out. If you haven't seen it, just check out my Instagram. But that's exactly what the theme is. He talks about how, you know, it used to be they were taking fighting out, but now all of a sudden there's not as many hitters for some reason. And when it comes to Clattenburg, I saw him 2 years ago in the OHL. When we were in, because they came through with Sault Ste. Marie, they played Sudbury. I think I might have mentioned this, I'm not sure, but in any case, like it was noticeable there too. Like he really, really worked hard. He was the one player on the ice that I noticed first, and it wasn't just like each period. Definitively, he was the hardest worker. So I'm not surprised. Statistics maybe were lacking a little bit from being NHL this quick, but I'm really not surprised given the lack of players like him that he got up.
Yeah, well, it's funny because Adam Henrique actually told a story that when he was down in the minors and Lou Lamoriello said, hey, you know what? Sometimes it isn't the most skilled player who gets called up. It's what does the team need? And so and we have Ike Howard coming on the show later, or you're Robbie Yarventi or other guys, you can get mad and think, well, geez, I'm more skilled than Clattenburg. Why am I not getting called up? But they don't bring the element that he has. And that's what the pro team needs at that moment. So the other young guys have to be like, hey, good for him. I don't take it personally. I just got to keep working on my game. And then other guys, though, that are physical, it says, hey, you know what? Like if I play my role on a nightly basis, there is a chance, right? Sure, it's a little bit of a long shot chance. I get it, but there's a chance. And that's what Clattenburg's had.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, it's what you make of it. Once I find just there's so many great hockey players worldwide. You know, to get your foot in the door is often the hardest thing to do. But I think we're talking about this specific player now. I think all he's got to do is keep working hard, listen, you know, just go out there, stay focused. And I think there'll be a future in the NHL. Now, that the one game played here, it sounds like maybe I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. I do think that you mentioned it earlier that sort of game is so rare. And it's weird because it's the one thing that everybody can do. I don't mean everybody can hit as well as him, but I mean like everybody can go out and do that. Not everybody can just go out and score a goal, right? Mm-hmm. So the fact that hard work is lacking is to me it blows me away. I mean, and the thing is, all these players and they work so hard off the ice. I'm not calling anybody specifically out on the Oilers now. Everybody got a job to do, but I'm just saying, you know, off in the off season, people work so hard and like just so demanding on the body. So just when you go out there, the easiest thing to do is just have it all come together and go work hard. You don't always see it. It's odd.
Yeah, no, it is true. And, you know, that's what he brings. He just brings that element. And, you know, I think it adds a little bit of something to a team that doesn't have a ton of it. It's obviously short term because you got Kapanen and Nugent Hopkins, and then it's just a numbers game. And I understand it at that point. But it is one where, you know what, down the road, you look and say, hey, we don't have anybody in the organization who brings what he brings. Right. So you might have Robbie Yarventi and Ike Howard and those guys, you know, they compete for top six jobs or maybe middle six in the case of Yarventi. But you look at Clattenburg and he's a very specific player, physical, aggressive, make some plays, and then he'll go back to the minors and you work on it. What do you think getting because I know you had a few, you know, you get a few cups of coffee early in your career. And How much is that going to benefit Clattenburg when he goes back to the minors after this short stint in Edmonton?
Oh, well, it's all about confidence, right? Anybody will tell you that in probably any sport. But when it comes to, most players in that position, it's all about confidence. So even if he doesn't get up the rest of the year, I think he will. But if he doesn't, that's something to build off of. I don't know if, anybody really expected him to come in and play this early in the NHL. But not only will that help him, but here's what I think, and I've seen it enough. I think when he does that, it will rub off on other players, and it will, and especially if you're successful. And this team has been successful, 2 finals in a row, right? Great players, great leaders, and I've seen it happen. And Edmonton fans, speaking of Edmonton and last night Detroit, player Danny Cleary, which I'm sure you know, and Danny didn't have that. He didn't have a lot of jam early in his career.
Yeah,
and he kind of found it in Detroit, and just another level. And I've never really asked him, but I'm sure that at playing with Darren McCarty and Chris Draper and Kurt Maltby and Steve Eisman and these guys, it just had to rub off, because that sort of thing is addictive. And when everybody's doing it, it almost, you stick out like a sore thumb when you're not.
Yeah.
And so Danny, people can change their games, they do it drastically. He's still a great player, but I just think that sort of thing is contagious.
Yeah. Makes sense. TR, enjoy some rest. A lot of minutes, big minute eater. You need a nap, and then you can be ready for your next game on Friday.
Okay. Thanks a lot. And we'll chat again soon. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Edmonton. Talk soon.
There you go. That's Terry Ryan, co-host of our show. When he's not wheeling around as a big star, he joins us Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll take a quick break. We got lots more on the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars. We're going to hear from the Dallas Stars side of thing. We also have Dave McCarthy talking all things NHL and the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You know your neighbor, right? The one who watches your house when you're away, who keeps their yard looking nice, who says hello every day. That's us. GS Construction. Now, we probably don't live right beside you, but we do live in your community. And when it comes to water and wastewater infrastructure, moving along smoothly, we're the ones doing that work. GS Construction has been doing it since 1974, over 50 years. So you could say we are your neighbors who wear hard hats and work boots. To find out what your neighbors do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts. And play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
We want orange. Give us the orange. We want orange. Bring back the orange.
You got it, Canada. Booster Juice orange smoothies are back by popular demand. The original, the marathon, and orangesicle smoothies are back and bursting with tangy zest of oranges. They're Canadian favorites. Orange, you glad they're back? Only for a limited time. So squeeze the day, smoothie lovers, and head to a Booster Juice near you now. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
What a performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and sadly, some people think orthotics are just glorified shoe cushions. But I've seen a runner drop 8 minutes off her marathon, a grandmother ditch her painkillers, and a 12-year-old nail her long jump, all thanks to custom foot orthotics. So if your feet are screaming for help, flat, high, or funky, that pain's heading to your knees, hips, even your lower back, our professionals will assess you and, if indicated, custom fabricate a pair of orthotics made just for you. Happy feet make a happy person. Feet shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This Friday, 6 p.m. till midnight, don't miss the 71st annual Kinsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person this Friday night at the Bailey Theater on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
Your front row seat to thousands of legendary concerts is here. This Black Friday, save 75% on Stingray All Good Vibes through Prime Video channels.
Man, I feel like a woman.
For just $2.50 a month for 2 months, you can see the icons you love: Bruce Springsteen, Shania Twain, AC/DC, and more, right from your living room. Ready for the show? Subscribe at primevideo.com/Stingray. Prime membership required. Restrictions apply.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people that know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.327. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Game Day, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Remember, if you check out the YouTube Sports 1440 channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Connor will very much appreciate it, as will Declan, all the other fellas. And the more subscribers we have, the more we can give to you for free. So check it out at YouTube, Sports 1440. Time to go around the NHL. Brought to you by McDonald's, and it's Tuesday. You know what that means? The Fan Day deal. $4.49. Big Mac, McChicken, or filet of fish, but only if you order it through the McDonald's app. Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays. For all of you hockey fans. Even if you're not a hockey fan, you're a fan of McDonald's, get it at the app. Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM, who I'm sure every now and then takes a peek at the odd McDonald's. Davey, how you doing?
No, I'm good. Yeah, you can't beat a McFlurry, right? I mean, on a summer's day, you mix in a McFlurry. I mean, this is a good day. It's a good day.
No, it's nice. Davey's got his Christmas tree up. I think you actually had it up last week, if my memory is correct. Pretty much right after Remembrance Day is when you get it up. Now, what about outside Chateau McCarthy? Do you got a lot of trees covered in lights? How does it paint us a picture?
Yeah, no, it's not a small endeavor to get the outside set up, because it actually stretches from the front to the back. Because if you're in the back, you got to be able to see something. You don't have, the only time you really ever get to see the front is when I come home from Leaf games, because by the time I'm usually home during the day, the lights aren't on yet. So that's for show. The back is for me. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I'll maybe mix in a picture and give the people what they need to see.
All right. Okay. I like it. The Vancouver Canucks. Now, it's funny because a year ago yesterday, now they're in very different situations. The Rangers coach, hey, guys are available, and they were 12-6-1. And since then, they've been the 27th team in the NHL. Brutal. 37-41-8. The Vancouver Canucks are very different. They are clearly in a rebuilding situation right now. It has not gone very well. And they're saying, they got lots of veteran guys who are up for grabs. A few of the names that, they've got some players people will want. No question about it, right? Obviously, you start at Quinn Hughes. Now, he's not available. But the fact that the other guys are available, isn't this basically just saying Quinn Hughes will be available in the summertime?
Well, yeah, and it's funny that you draw the comparison to the Rangers. They were actually in a good spot in the standings a year ago. I've talked to many people who have deep ties to the Rangers who told me like that was self-sabotage. I don't know if Chris Drury knew it at the time, but everybody else was like, what are they doing there? Like, way to manufacture drama and unnecessary storylines and angst, and watch where this goes. And it has gone nowhere good since. I was never high on Vancouver coming into the year, just simply because I didn't think they improved their group at all, and they were no good last year. And I said to myself, the only way they really turn this around is if Elias Pettersson gets back to the guy that was getting close to 100 points, I guess 3 years ago now, which is a long time. And we haven't seen near that player since, and he has not. And so the fact that they are not in a good place does not surprise me. Thatcher Demko has been, again, in and out of the lineup, struggles with availability. I'm not saying it's his fault, but I'm sorry. His skill to an extent is availability, and he tends to be unavailable. And they rely on good goaltending. They haven't got it this year. So I wasn't expecting much from Vancouver, and their season has gone how I expected it, and I completely agree with you. When you were asking the question, I was going to interject when you mentioned Quinn Hughes and said, well, he's not available. I was going to say for now.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest here. This is not getting better in the near future, and they can ill afford to let Quinn Hughes walk out the door for zero at the end of next season, which I think he is going to do. Right now, you might have the most value on the asset of Quinn Hughes if you're the Vancouver Canucks that you will ever have, because you'll get not just one playoff run, but two. And then provided you can, you can't do it until July 1st, but in this case, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, would you be interested in signing long-term there? Oh, yeah, I might. Okay, well, now we can up the price a little bit. Like, if Quinn Hughes does not get traded prior to the deadline, I would be surprised, and I would almost go as far to say that it would be mismanagement on the part of Patrick Allvin and Jim Rutherford to not maximize that asset. Because I'll ask you, do you think he's signing long-term in Vancouver? I do not.
Oh gosh, no. I don't see how all the other places where guys sign long-term, you look at LA, they've been a playoff team for the last 4 years. They probably look like a playoff team again this season. Now, Kopitar, that's a big question mark for sure, but Kempe loved it there, so he re-signs. Kyle Connor stays in Winnipeg. They've been a playoff team. They won a few rounds over the last few seasons. Nature signs in Colorado. They're obviously a very good team. Edmonton, good team. McDavid, you go down the list. And Quinn Hughes signing, I don't even care if it's a short-term deal. He ain't re-signing in Vancouver when they're going to be they're projected to be a lottery team now this year, bottom 5 team. And they're not going to go from a bottom 5 team, especially if they're trading off guys like Kiefer Sherwood and Connor Garland and probably Patrick Kane because he's in the final year of his deal, and who knows, maybe Drew O'Connor. Go down the list. I got a lot of guys who teams would be who would be interested in wanting to take.
Evander Kane, right?
Yeah, Evander Kane.
Yeah.
So I don't see there's any chance Quinn Hughes. I think all that's happening is right now you won't get the max amount of teams interested in Quinn Hughes because they don't have the cap space. But the cap is going up in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
And teams would then, hey, we got 3 months, we can wheel and deal and maneuver. Okay, here we go. And I know New Jersey is obviously going to be a top contender, but don't rule out the Detroit Red Wings. I think in that deal. And I think there will be a lot of interest for a guy like Quinn Hughes, who, by the way, doesn't have a no trade clause. So it's Vancouver can do what's best for them. Now, the team that's acquiring him can try to talk to his agent, even though they say that's not allowed. We all know that's BS. Of course they would, and find out like, hey, what are the chances? We think you want to sign here, but so he does probably control it a bit. But ultimately, Vancouver is going to be able to move him to whoever they want if they want.
Yeah, I at this point would almost go as far to say that if you're Tom Fitzgerald and you're the New Jersey Devils and you do not get Quinn Hughes, I think that would be extremely disappointing because I would suggest that they are the odds-on favorite. After everything that came out in the summertime between Jack and Quinn and oh yeah, wouldn't you like to play with your brother one day? Oh yeah, I'd love to play with my brother one day. Oh, I'm just worried about the Vancouver. But, like that was as close to saying, yeah, like we want to play together as you can without actually saying it, so nobody gets charged with tampering. So like if I'm Tom Fitzgerald, I'm knocking on Patrick Alvin's door like every day, starting as soon as that letter came out. Say, what do we got to do? What's the deal here? Let's get to a deal. We want to get this done. It makes sense. Players have power in the league nowadays, especially when you're approaching unrestricted free agency. We saw it with Matthew Tkachuk a couple of years ago in Calgary, where he was a year out and he made it clear it wasn't coming back, which I thought was a really upfront way of doing business. Flames fans clearly were not thrilled with the fact that he left, but I would rather a guy be upfront and say, look, within the year, I'm going to have the right to go where I want to go. But I also want to make sure that you guys get something for me and that I don't leave the team in a tight spot. I think eventually folks will kind of get around to re-respecting that, if you will. So Quinn Hughes might as well be upfront and say, all right, like let's be honest here. I'm not going to resign, and be upfront about it so that the Canucks can get as much value as they can for him, of which they will get quite a bit. Quinn Hughes, I mean, a guy like that doesn't become available very often. It makes sense for everybody in this case to be forthright, proactive, and to get a deal done where all parties involved can be pleased, because I think that is before everybody, that possibility. You might as well work toward it so that nobody comes away with hurt feelings, be it players, teams, fan bases, the whole 9 yards. There is a chance here, I think, for everybody to be happy.
Okay. They're available. If you had to rank them, who do you think is, and excluding Quinn Hughes, because obviously he's great, but when you just consider contract, cap hit, of those Canuck players, who do you think is going to garner the most interest?
Well, I'll tell you what, Kiefer Sherwood has been impressive to me. The guy's been very productive. He doesn't cost very much money. He can play up and down the lineup, and I don't think he'll cost you a ton. Mm-hmm. So, at his skill set and how productive he has been, I would be really interested in a guy like Kiefer Sherwood if I was a contending team. Guys like that don't come along all that often, especially considering the price tag that he commands right now, which is just $1.5 million.
Yeah.
Right. Like that is all kinds of value. And it's not kind of a one-off either. He had, what do you have? I had 19, call it 20 goals last year, right? So the guy has proven to be productive, but he plays physically. He hits everything. Like if your head isn't up in a press box, you might get hit too. Like the guy just runs around with a degree of energy that contending teams would kill for. Like he is the perfect third line player right now. So to me, when you factor in his productivity for basically not like $1.5 million nowadays where the cap is basically nothing. He's a UFA. He's Kiefer Sherwood at the end of the day. I don't think he's costing you a top prospect or anything crazy like that, but a reasonable price. I think you can get Kiefer Sherwood, and I think you'll continue to get bang well above your buck for a guy like that.
If you were the Edmonton Oilers, would you trade Skinner for Binnington?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I was making that case in the summertime, to be honest with you, in August, if you had Hockey Today on, because I was looking ahead. And when I look at the Oilers, like I remain deeply concerned about their net minding. Stuart Skinner's numbers can be okay at times. And look, I give the guy credit. They've gotten back-to-back cup finals, but I would make the argument, harsh as it may sound, that they got there in spite of him, not because of him. And at times, in both playoff runs, even, he has had to be replaced by Calvin Pickard because there was a dip in his play. You can't have that if you're a contending team. And yet again, this year, his play has not been very good. You need a guy that can give you a save when you need it most, in addition to all of the saves that you need to make. And Stewart has shown that he can be a guy that makes the stops that he needs to make. But to me, he has yet to show me that he can give me an extra save that he probably shouldn't come up with when I need it most to keep the game either from getting away from us or staying in our favor. Look at that game the other night against Tampa Bay. 2 scorpion saves on the goal line in overtime from Andre Vasilevsky. Just outrageous. Back down the other end of the ice, through his legs, game over. Like, you can't really fault him on that goal. It was a great play, 2-on-1. But through the leg, like, just, I need to stop there. And it's game whatever it was, 20 of the regular season, doesn't matter all that much. I think Edmonton is going to be fine at some point. I'm still confident in them. But that's my point. Like, in the playoffs, that scenario, I need to stop there. And Jordan Binnington has shown himself to be a guy that plays with an FU attitude. He's always had that about him. And he's shown himself to be a guy that on the biggest stages raises his game. His numbers don't always look great, but in the moment, I don't know if this is an analytic. It probably isn't, but I'm going to invent one right now. His in the moment numbers, man, they got to be sky high. You look at game 7 of the 19 Cup final. That first period, St. Louis got caved in and Binnington stood tall. You look at the Four Nations final last year against the United States. He out-goaltended the guy that would go on to win the Hart and the Vezina Trophy last year in Connor Halley. Austin Matthews had the game on his stick, stop, and he bought his team time. Jordan Binnington is a money goalie. I think that's what Edmonton needs. And in St. Louis's case, they like Joel Hofer. And Binnington is at the point now where not this year, next year, he's going to be a free agent. What do you think he's going to ask? It ain't going to be 6. Does St. Louis want to pay him 10? Because that's where it's going to be, or close to it. I think the answer to that is no. But Edmonton needs a goalie like him, and they could get him for 2 years.
Get $10 million?
I think that's what he's going to ask for, Jason.
What?
What do you mean, what? He's got a cup. He's won a Four Nations.
Like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Four Nations last year. If he gets traded to Edmonton, plays good, and they go on a run, he's making 6 now. The cap is going up.
Yeah, but goalies' contracts don't go up.
Well,
I don't think Binnington at his age would get. If he got 6 again, he'd be happy.
I think he gets 6 for fun, especially if he comes off a good run here.
Yeah, I don't know. A few games here or there. If your save percentage 2 years in a row is under 900 in the regular season, I don't see how you're getting anything more than 6. Like Four Nations, it was on Canada. That's great, like a really good team. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I don't even think he gets 6. If I look at his age and everything else, like I'd be stunned. Maybe I'm wrong, but
we'll revisit this one. We
will. That'll be a good debate in the future because I've been blown away about that.
But you just look at goaltenders very quickly. You look at teams that feel like they're a goalie away. Did anyone think Sergei Bobrovsky was going to get 10 times 8 when he signed in Florida? Like, that was massive at the time, right?
He's 2-time Vezina winner at the time.
I understand that. It's true. But that still was a massive contract for a goalie that really hadn't demonstrated much playoff success. But Florida thought they were a goalie away because they just couldn't get a stop when it mattered. And so they paid, and it took them a little while. Ultimately, it was the right call. But I think there will be some teams that will be like, it's not a prudent way of doing business, but I think there will be some teams out there that can get suckered into we're a money goalie away from being good, and if that's what the cost is, so be it. And I think that's what the ask is going to be. We'll see, but I think it's going to be, put it this way, I think it's a lot closer to 10 than 6.
No. Ooh, all right. Well, we'll have some fun with that one, Dave.
Yes, buddy.
Put a little fun wager on it. I like it. All right. Well, Have yourself a great day. Enjoy. It's an odd NHL schedule. One game tonight, 15 tomorrow, none on Thursday, 15 on Friday. So feast or famine week, Dave. Enjoy it.
Oh, should be good. Feast or famine on U.S. Thanksgiving, or as they call it in the U.S.
It's almost like they could have played a few all-Canadian matchups on Thursday. I know
I would have been okay with that.
They might have been able to do it. So
yeah.
I'd say this, because I know that waste is the wrong word. I know a lot of their home openers are those. I'd look and say, you know what? You don't have to play Edmonton and Calgary all the time in the season opener. You could play them in November on the so when there's like, hey, you know what? There's no hockey on, and I know there's only going to be 2 Canadian games, like one early, one late. Be perfect. Something
pretty good day of having a frozen frenzy, if you will, with a 1 o'clock, a 4 o'clock, and a 7 o'clock all Canadian matchup on U.S. Thanksgiving. Nobody's getting home for the Americans on the Canadian teams. I mean, unfortunate as it is, that'd be a pretty good way of owning that day.
Not bad. Davey, have a good one.
See you, buddy.
That's Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM. What do you guys think on Binnington? Am I wrong? Is Dave wrong? Like, well, 10 mil. Like, hey, I'm sorry, man. Like, elite goalies right now aren't getting 10 mil. So I can't see 10. Like, honestly, I look at Binnington. He's got 1 year left at 6. And when his new I got to look up his age. When his new contract kicks in, I got to think Binnington, because he was drafted in, I think it was 2011. I think. So, yeah, he'll be, when his contract is done, he'll be 33. So he'll be turning 34 in July of his new deal. I don't think there's any chance of even getting $6 million at this stage. That's what I'm going to say. What do you think? Over or under $6 million? What do you think? 833-401-1440. We'll return to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, 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 nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 oodle, noodle, nood.
Throw a load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design, build, sketching strategy, from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Hey everybody, it's Chief Principe and Jason Stredler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We return. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely day. The Oilers, of course, getting set to take on the Dallas Stars tonight. No Rantanen, no Harley. Rantanen suspended. Harley, Duchesne, Bushkin. They're all injured. Meanwhile, Nugent Hopkins still out. Wallman still out. Kapanen still out. Philp, obviously, is on LTIR, so he is out. So a little bit of injuries, but both teams still got some good players. Jason Robertson on fire. He's got 10 goals, 4 assists in his last 6 games. 10 goals in 6 games. You kidding me? That's a season for some guys. So he's obviously red hot right now, and the Oilers are going to have to be leery of him when he's on the ice. No question about it. Owen Newkirk's going to join us next hour to talk a little Dallas Stars. Glenn Gulletson, of course, making his return to Edmonton. The Oilers have already played the Stars once this season. Had the lead, blew it, and ended up losing that one in a shootout. So they will try to be a little better tonight. Home ice, they are 5-1-2 so far this season. Connor McDavid, 34 shots in 8 home games this year. He's averaging over 4 shots a game. And at PlayAlberta.ca, we did the Gregor special. If you do we got an Odds Boost Gregor Show special every day now. And one of them has included, of course, McDavid, 3+ shots. So check it out at PlayAlberta.ca as we get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where they are hiring right now. You get a hiring bonus. You get a very competitive wage, RSP matching, tuition reimbursement, and a great place to work. Apply today at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, of course, a longtime journalist in town. Cam, born with cerebral palsy, he's in a wheelchair, hasn't let him slow him down, and he's always wanted to be in radio. And now, through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
You know, in this beautiful, unpredictable, occasionally eyebrow-raising game of hockey we adore, sometimes everything, and I mean everything, comes down to 2 words. Not 1. No. We're not cheap here. Not 3. We're not show-offs either. 2. And this morning, Glenn Gulletson, Gully to the cool kids, delivered those 2 words like he was handing over the secret recipe for Rogers Place popcorn butter. There he was, in front of that Dallas Stars backdrop, green and black, a color scheme that screams, IKEA couch on sale this weekend. He's tucked outside the visitor's room, that little hallway where you never know if a coach is coming out or a Zamboni driver looking for his lunch. Gully, who spent a few seasons with the Oilers and knows this rink so well he could find the dressing room blindfolded wearing goalie pads, was asked if he was surprised at the Oilers' start this season. And he didn't say, "Hi, Gregor." He didn't say, "Hey, Matty." He didn't say the classic, "Where's Tate?" which, frankly, more people should be asking. No power play. No, I'm good. Not even the winter favorite. No snow. Nope. The two words that jumped out like two front-row tickets to tonight's Oilers-Stars game accidentally left on the kitchen counter where your kid finds them first were these. Ready? I said, "Are you ready? Here we go." The two words he used to sum up his thesis on the Oilers' start this season. It's early. 2-minute warning. Gregor, Halley, Kruger, in the Christmas sweater that should really come with a dimmer switch. Me, Tater, weekdays, sports, 1440.
Cons, what do you make of that?
Well, I thought his joke on Declan was below the belt. I hate that he got me so hooked. That whole time, like, just tell me the two words. Like a minute, I was counting, a minute 50. Let's go, Tater. It's early. Yeah, that was a good one. That was I didn't even know, a wordsmith. He had me locked in from the start.
That's what you do, right? He threw out the line, and then he just was slowly reeling you in, That was very well done. Very well done, Tater. Who gave you that idea, Tater? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Let's get to a break. We'll come back. We're going to hear from Adam Henrique, Chris Knobloch. Then we're going to go to Dallas. New York's going to join us. Also, Ike Howard has been down in Bakersfield playing a lot of minutes, scoring a lot of points. We'll talk to him about that and more in the 5 o'clock hour. But first, let's get to the Econ Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Stop in because you know you need them. You can put it off, you can delay it, but deep down, you know, winter is coming. I need some winter tires. 15% off all tires right now. Don't wait till you're sliding through an intersection, white knuckling your steering wheel. Serenity now. Serenity now. Get it done first. FountainTire.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. Oilers and Stars down at Rogers Place. The lone game in the NHL tonight. Puck drop just after 7. Our pregame coverage gets going at 6 with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and former NHLer Landon Ferraro. In the association, 3 games tonight. In NBA Cup group play, Wizards host the Hawks, the Magic taking on the Sixers, and it's Lakers and Clippers. The International Testing Agency announced that Canadian swimmer Penny Oleksiak has been given a 2-year ban from competition for anti-doping rule violations. The ITA stating Oleksiak accepted the suspension for committing 3 whereabouts failures between October 2024 and June 2025. The 25-year-old is Canada's most decorated female Olympian with 7 Olympic medals plus 9 world championship medals over her career. And some sad news from the curling world earlier today as 6-time Scotties champion and 2-time world champion curler Colleen Jones passed away at the age of 65 after a battle with cancer. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear from members of the Oilers. We'll talk to Owen Newkirk about the Dallas Stars and another edition of 5 Questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take 1 for Gene Principe. Are you ready, Gene?
Ready? I'm not just here to make a thermo a couple of bucks. I'd never just microphone it in.
Take 1.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for furnace season.
What's not to love? With no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year.
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike a furnace, I have no filter.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
The Nissan Black Friday event is here. A full month packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive deals. Right now, finance remaining 2025 Rogue models for 0% for up to 60 months and start planning your adventures. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit titansupply.ca.
Hey, you know winter is really freaking cold, right? So play it smart. Don't get caught freezing in your car with your pants down and no power. At Big Toy Shop right now, lead-acid batteries are just $129. $129 is a great price for a good start. Big Toy Shop. Power up and save some bucks at Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road, 780-298-2797.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. It's Terrific Tuesday. Get 40% off any regular priced pizza when you use the code word 40Tuesday at the start of each pizza order at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock. Welcome back. And big tough day for in the curling. We're Colleen Jones, obviously one of the greatest women curlers in Canadian history, and passing away too young at the age of 65. So all those in the curling community who knew her, our condolences to you. Welcome back to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game. How about today? Is today your day? You know, some days you might think it's your day. You never know. And maybe you just never know when it's your day. Today could be your day at playalberta.ca, where you could get your ticket to Lotto Max. And if it's the winner, it's $55 million tonight. And 4 Max Mill. Heck, even if you just get one of the 4 Max Mill, game changer. No question. So get your tickets at playalberta.ca. Good luck. Just remember our deal. Right? If you win, you invite us to the party. If we win, we invite you. It's a pretty good deal. I'll tell you that. Somebody was hosting like I want a lottery party. I would think the vibe would be pretty positive. Right? And you just hope that you don't have friends who have no couth and are like, hey, can you lend me some money? Not the time. Read the room, Bobby. Read the room. Not the time. Not the time at all. Hey, Greg's, I'm reading the Preds might fire their head coach. You think they'd be willing to trade Saros for nothing? Well, he's got a huge contract, so can't just trade him for nothing. You would have to give up some salary in return, and I don't know if Nashville is just going to take $7 million of chump change salary to get Saros. Right? And I'm not sold that they being the Oilers management team I think they would look for a goalie like on a shorter term than that at his age. That would be my guess. I think that term is probably rather concerning for sure. 833-401-1440. Now we do have lots of text to get to. Hey, Greg's, you using Seinfeld references makes it even more fun to listen to at work. My coworker walked by and said, That was her favorite episode. We all know someone who's a Lloyd Braun type of person, Ranger Nick. That is such a classic episode, man. Lloyd Braun. Oh, remember that one? Oh, George is getting frustrated. Lloyd's out selling him. What is going on? Oh, classic. And then, we're coming up the episode of it's just the line from Frank Costanza. As rain blows down upon his head, I thought there had to be something more. And of course, if you don't know it, he's talking about just the rage and the frustration that some people feel at Christmas when they're trying to get the gift. And there's always like every year, there's like some popular gift and people are like, oh my God, I got to get it. Like we're like sheep at times, meh, and they just follow thinking that that's what you need. Right? It's good marketing. They convince a kid, oh my God, I need it. If I don't get it, my life's over. Right. And now it's like mini sticks. Right now they got the international mini stick, Team Canada, USA. I'm like, how many mini sticks you need? You're not breaking them. How many do you need? But they convince themselves that they really need it. And then some people there's always some controversy about it. Cons, you're not in that stage yet, but in a few years, old Benny will feel like this is what he has to get. And it's always a challenge. Can you fight the urge to come up with something else? That's the challenge.
Right now is great.
Oh, now he does. But
he throw a box at him.
Exactly. He's just, does it have crinkly paper?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like, oh, it's so funny. Sometimes the little babies, young toddlers, they play more with the wrapping than they do the actual present. People get all upset. I'm like, well, of course they like the wrapping. It makes noise. They can feel it. It's like interactive. You get them some stuffy doll that you might think looks cute, but it does nothing for them. Right?
Straight to the mouth and then back to the floor.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. The wrapping paper was quite the hit for birthday number 1.
Oh, God. Kidding me? Why wouldn't it be? I love it. It's like your dog. Yeah, you get him a certain toy, but then he comes in the wrapper and it makes noise. He's wheeling around. She's wheeling around through it all the time. It's fantastic. Love it. 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, it's obvious 97 shoots the puck more at home because of the 18,000 people reminding him to shoot. Yeah. Imagine if that was true. Oh, God. Don't make him think so. Don't make him think so. So, and Gregor, I like the idea of Binnington and Skinner together if half salary on Binnington's retained, but what's the cost? Binnington's terrible right now, which is actually perfect timing to get him, as I believe his ceiling is high. I think he'd be a strong voice for the decor. Well, if you're the Blues and you trade Binnington, but you're not getting Skinner, then I guess you're getting Pickard, but you're gonna have to give him something more. But you're right, and here's the hit. I think people have to understand the history of trading for goalies. It's not that high. You don't have to give up a significant amount. Binnington, he has a big contract. Makes him even harder to trade. So I don't think the return would be nearly as high as people think, to be honest. Right? It might have to be, hey, Binnington for Skinner straight up and St. Louis retains half. Right? So Edmonton goes from 2.6 to 3. And St. Louis, well, they go from 6 to 5.6. That's what they do. Right? Because if you look at and Skinner now, he's a UFA pending at the end of the year. But I'm not sure there's that I don't think it's a lock that Binnington's a starting goalie for Canada. We'll see. Now his GM is the GM of Canada, so that might help him. But if he continues to flounder at an 880 save percentage all the way through the season, do you think he automatically gets to start at the Olympics? And then what if he doesn't play in the Olympics? What's his value then if he comes back from the Olympics and he's still an 880 save percentage goalie who didn't play in the Olympics? Well, yeah, but he played in the 4 nations. It's 4 games. 4 games. So how much would he have? Now, I'm not saying you don't trade for him, but I don't think you'd have to give up very much. Some of these trade requests, you guys are acting like Binnington is freaking Sorokin. People are mentioning Skinner and Ike Howard. What? Come on now. Why? I get that you feel you're desperate, but I'm not sold that I would even do that. So we'll kind of have to see how it goes there. But I wouldn't you could trade for Binnington. I have no problem, but I just don't think you have to overpay for it. I don't get it. So, hey, Gregor, I bet you all NHL GMs have a post-it note on their desk that says no trading goalies to the Oilers under any circumstance. Well, why would a team not making the playoffs have it? I get if you're a contender, sure. But the other ones are like, whatever. trade him wherever we can get the best value if we have it. So, hey, Gregor, you're bang on. Blackwood went for 2 mid picks and a guy who's on the KHL now. Well, exactly. Right now, Georgiev was somebody who was an NHL goalie at the time, but obviously isn't one now. And just look at, like, historically, goalies don't go for a ton. They just don't. So I am not trading Binnington and overpaying to get him. Right? I wouldn't do it. Like, would I even do Skinner for Binnington straight up? Well, you got to remember, you can't just do him straight up because it's $6 million for 2.6. So then the Oilers would have to clear $3.4 million elsewhere off of their roster. Where are they doing that? Who else are they getting rid of? Right? I don't. Hey, Gregor, just throw in Henrique. So it's Henrique and him. Okay, but that doesn't help you next year because Binnington's $6 million next year too. Right? So I know that Binnington has a track record, sure. And maybe he would come here and he would be awesome. There's always a risk. And I've said it all along. I firmly believe the Edmonton Oilers, and I said it from basically July 1st. I do not expect both Skinner and Pickard to be here. One of them is going to be gone. So depending on the trade, I don't know which one, but I think one of them will be gone before the trade deadline. I can't believe that they would go with the exact same duo 3 years in a row. I could be wrong, but that's what I feel. Right? That's what I feel. Hey, guys, I think the better deal would be Jonathan Quick. Well, he just went on IR today, Dub, so I don't think that would be it. Hey, guys, I would give them Savoy, Howard, Nurse, a first, and Skinner for Parayko and Binner. Daryl, that's why you're not an NHL GM. That would be an awful trade for Edmonton. You're giving up Savoy, Howard, and your 3 best young prospects and Nurse for Parayko and Binnington? Why? Why do you have to give up that much? Like a first, Savoy, and Howard. Do you know how much that is? Chris Pronger didn't have to give up that much to get him. Right? He gave up Eric Brewer and Jeff Wojcicki and Doug Lynch, who were not high-end prospects. What are we talking about here? Come on. Daryl, I would love to trade with you in fantasy football if that's how you value players. I'll say that. Guys, I'm sorry. Binnington's best days are behind him. I don't care what he's did in the past. We're looking for what's a player going to do in the future. Look elsewhere. That one comes from Doug. Greg's, I'm with you. I have more concerns on Binnington. There's lots of other goalies I'd consider well ahead of him. And I know that Binnington's name's out there right now because of, you look at the teams that aren't in it. Calgary, they're not trading Wolf. Obviously not. And I don't think they're going to trade Devin Cooley. I could be wrong. Like, you probably could get Devin Cooley. And I don't think that would be a bad play. Younger goalie? I wouldn't be opposed to that at all, to be honest. I don't think you'd have to. Now, is Calgary going to do it? Probably not. Because I don't think they want to run Wolf into the ground. But when you look at teams like, Buffalo, what about Alex Lyon? That's the guy. If Buffalo gets back in it, well, then they're not doing anything. And they've won a few games and everything's tight. So, there's a chance. Elvis Merzlikins, that's a big question mark in Columbus, man. Now I just wonder how much of Columbus is mental for him because of losing his buddy and everything. I could see how that would weigh on the guy. I understand it. He's got 1 year left after this at $5.4 million. So, I could consider, I'd listen. I'd have to do a deeper dive on, does his style of play match how Edmonton plays, right? Woodley's told us how important that is. Certain goalies in certain systems and how they play, what's a team's weakness? If you're a team that gives up a lot off the rush, then you need a goalie who's better off the rush. If you're a team that gives up lots off the rush and you have a goalie who's bad off the rush, you don't want that goalie. It's not going to be a good mix for your team. So those are the things I'd have to go into a deep dive a little bit with Woodley. We might do that here in the next few weeks. Just be like, okay, and I try to say realistic options. All right. We keep getting all the time, Sorokin. Guys, first of all, he has a no movement clause. Number one. Number two, The Islanders are currently in a playoff spot. They're 13-8-2. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're not even considering it. So full stop, not even a discussion. Move on. It's not even a discussion. They're not happening. Now, Tristan Jarry, that could be a discussion. You look at the Flyers don't really have anyone. Merzlikins. I mentioned Buffalo. If they stay out of it, there's a probability there. Hey, Greg's, this might be out of left field, but what do you think about Toronto if their guys, if they flounder all year long? Would they consider it? I don't know what the contract status is of their two goalies. One comes in from Peter. Well, Wall has 2 years after this, and Stolarz, I think, just signed a 4-year extension that doesn't kick in till next season. So, yeah, he has 4. Wall has 2. And I think, well, Wall this year is like 3.6, and I think Stolarz 2.5, and then next year he jumps up to like 3.7. So, if I'm Toronto, I don't think they're trading either one. That's what I think, because they got 2 goalies who can both be good, but both have questions about health. So if you trade, like if you're like, hey, we got both, we can roll the dice that one of them is going to be healthy the majority of the time. So it's interesting. You're right. It's a little outside the box because I think the Leafs want to think they're going to get back in it. But if not, you never know. Remember when the Oilers got Matthias Ekholm? No one thought he was available, including Ken Holland, because he had asked, wasn't available in December, wasn't available in January, wasn't available in early February. Late February, suddenly they had a change of heart. And then he became available. So, yeah, you got, as a GM, Stan Bowman's got to be calling every team. Well, within reason, right? He's not calling LA. He's not calling Colorado, right? We know that. So, within reason, the teams you call on. And the closer we get to the deadline, we'll probably have a better picture of some of these teams. And I'm intrigued to see what they do, because I'm a firm believer still they got to do something. Right? Nashville, Saros, and Vancouver. Like, would Vancouver trade you Lankinen? What about that? If everybody's available, would you want Lankinen? He's like, they have is it 13 million next year in goaltending? Like, if they're trading off guys, they might want to trade him. But, I know Woodley's still high him on Lankinen. I'd have to see, was he high in Lankinen come to Edmonton? That's something for the future. But that's another name. Hey, they've just said all their veterans are open. Demko is just so expensive, and I'm sorry, I wouldn't trade for Demko. Not that I don't think he's good. It's because I don't have faith that he would be eligible for me to play regularly in the playoffs. I'd be concerned. For sure. Like his availability cons is not overly dependable.
No, I'm with you there. And for that cap hit, $8.5 million for the next few years, if you can't depend on him to be there when it matters, it's not going to do you any good. If he's healthy, great goalie, no doubt about that one. But yeah, I think the injury history is a little bit of a concern there for a contending team.
When we come back, the Dallas Stars, they're on a roll. They're 6-1-1. Jason Robertson, oh my goodness. This guy's not just on fire. He is scorching hot. 10 goals, 4 assists, 14 points in his last 6 games. So he's rolling, trying to make a name for himself to get to the Olympic team for Team USA. Doing a pretty good job of it. Talk about that. Rantanen. Why is Rantanen a goon all of a sudden? That and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward combos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Get Black Friday prices now at The Brick. Skip the line and save big. Get 65% off reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Plus, get up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. And buy more, save more. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Mattresses are up to 40% off, and with every mattress purchase, you're entered for the chance to win a cruise. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal, and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Hey, everybody, it's Chief Principe and Jason Stredler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
Winter snow and ice are nothing to fear when the Lawnmower Hospital's in your corner. Keep pathways clear of snow with the Echo PB770T backpack blower, or go even bigger with the huge PB9010T. Right now, buy select commercial walk-behind BCS sweepers and get the Echo PB9010T for free. The Lawnmower Hospital has pet-safe, plant-safe ice melt, too. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Stories are told to make a point, and GS Construction takes them very seriously. We're not talking about fairy tales. GS Construction looks at the story old pipes tell us, a tale of time and pressure and endurance. So when those old pipes are ready to end their story, GS Construction starts a new chapter by repairing or rebuilding, or in some cases, renewing the underground infrastructure that supports our modern lives, making sure every community's story continues on safely and reliably. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
A Monday warrior, mean strike. Today Tom Sawyer, mean pride. But the night is not for them. Don't put him down his head again. If he's ever playing defense, lighting up the day's events.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Did you know that Japa offers in-house and on-site heavy equipment service? Rain or shine, Japa's service department is here for you. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
424, lots of good questions coming in on the text line, 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440 will update you. Philip Gustafson did just sign an extension, 5 years, $6.8 million starting next season. So like they've only got $5.9 million in goalies this year and then $9 million between the two of them the following year. Then Jesper Wallstad will become an RFA. And that might be a time where if he's projecting up, then maybe at that point they would look for a deal. But until then, there's no rush, right? If you can split duties. I know Wallstad's had a great 4 or 5 game stretch, but as we all know, goaltending can be a little bit chaotic. It can be a little bit unpredictable, and guys can get hot and then they can get cold. So I think Minnesota's in a very good position now with 2 goalies for at least the next 2 seasons. Hey guys, what about Husso? Yeah, Ville Husso. I mentioned him because we were talking about goalies that like what's a goalie you could get that's a very low risk play. And that's what they did with Ingram, right? They went out and they got Ingram. He's in the minors right now. It was never a guarantee that he was automatically going to find his game. And, he's been all right. Hasn't been anything out of this world. I think Calvin Pickard, who to his credit, doesn't surprise me. Pickard looked around and said, God, I got to pull my socks up here. I'm going to be out of the league, at least out of Edmonton. And he came up with a really good performance in Tampa Bay. And so now whenever he gets his next start, which I would guess would be maybe next Thursday, if I'm looking at the Oilers' schedule, because and I know that seems like a long ways away, but the Oilers, they play tonight. Skinner will play. Then got 3 days off. I assume Skinner's going to play that game. Like, unless he plays terrible tonight, then he's going to play in Seattle. Then they have 2 days off, and then they're home. And so you might have Pickard play that game on the against Minnesota potentially. Right. Or I think it's maybe more likely that he plays against Seattle. So if Pickard plays or Skinner plays the first one against Seattle, then maybe Pickard plays there. Now, Pickard has played Seattle before, so he could play Seattle this Saturday as well, depending on things. But if Skinner plays well, I think in this game tonight, I think he'll go on Saturday. And then you could see maybe Pickard the following one, because the Oilers homestand is Tuesday, Minnesota next week, Thursday, Seattle. Then Winnipeg comes in on the second half of a back-to-back for the Jets on the Saturday. Then the Oilers don't play again until they have Buffalo the following Tuesday, the 9th, and then the Red Wings wrap up a 5-game homestand. So the other thing about the Oilers is like they're coming up a little stretch of games here where they're not playing, the top dogs. Playing good teams, and of course, hey, the Oilers aren't a top dog right now, but it's not like they're playing after tonight. They're not playing a real string of tough teams. So maybe they can take advantage. Tonight, though, will be tough against the Dallas Stars as we get to the Oil Report, brought to you by Go Auto, your choice for vehicles and tires. Best deal on tires right now, goauto.ca. The Dallas Stars come to town. They are red hot. They are 6-1-1 in their last 8 games. They've outscored teams 30-15 in that time. Jason Robertson. Think about Robertson has got 10 goals and 4 points. He has 14 points himself, almost matching the goals against for the Stars of 15. So he's been red hot in his last 6 games. 10 goals, 6 games. Crazy. Owen Newkirk from DLLS in Dallas joins us. Owen, how you doing, man?
Hey, Jason, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm excellent. I'm not as good as Jason Robertson, though. This guy is red hot. And it really is just kind of, had a little bit of a slow start to the season here, but man, his game's gone into overdrive the last 2 weeks.
It's like he's overcompensating for that 9-game goal drought he had. He had a really slow start to the year. I say that prefacing with the fact that he actually scored goals in the first. So 2 games in, he's got 2 goals. You're thinking, oh, this guy's going to make the Olympic team for Team USA. He's going to get a massive contract extension. He's on pace. Then he scores 1 goal, I think, over his next 15 games. And you're going, uh-oh, what's happening? Well, everything's just fine with Jason Robertson now.
Yeah, well, I think he's another one of those guys who's probably fired up to at least say, hey, hands up over here, Team USA. I want to do it. He's also, looking for a contract extension, lots of other things on the plate for him. So, he's got a lot of, personal things to play for if he wants.
Yeah, he does. But, I mean, he's the prototypical goal scorer, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of motivation, but I think it's just that he's one of those guys that lives off scoring goals. And when one goes in, especially if he's chewing on his stick too hard because of this sort of drought or whatever, whenever anybody goes into a slump, right, especially guys that are big-time goal scorers like that expect it to go in, I think it affects them. I mean, look, nobody likes a slump. But the guys, the big money, big point guys, they kind of define their identity by it, right? Now, I had a great conversation. God, it's been a long time. I've been in Dallas forever. But let's say 5 years ago with Tyler Seguin about when he was younger, even if he had a good game, if he didn't score a goal or have points, he felt like he had a bad night because points validated his existence as a professional hockey player. And it wasn't until later, and I think Matt Duchesne and I last year had the same conversation of that you can evaluate the process of a game night and feel good or bad about how you played without necessarily seeing points. Now, that's all fine and good, but you and I both know that at the end of the day, those points make everything taste a little bit better.
Yeah. What is up with that thug, Mikko Rantanen, all of a sudden?
Yeah, it's a bad week for Mikko as far as that goes. Here's the thing that I didn't know a lot about Mikko in this circumstance. And we watch him from afar, and he's a great player, and he's a big guy, and he's unique because he's massive and strong and physical, but he's also got great scoring. He's not a big, you don't think of him as a leading penalty minutes guy, a guy that's going to drop the mitts a whole bunch. That just doesn't happen, right? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this guy works way harder than I ever realized. When you see him every day, when you see him practice, but especially when you watch him play, and I'm sure you've heard that line, is Sidney Crosby plays like a third liner, but he has the skill of an elite superstar, right? But he has that third line worker mentality. And that's one of the reasons that makes him great. Mikko Rantanen is the same way. I remember early in the training camp this year with Glenn Gulletson, who you guys, of course, are very familiar with. Gully said that he talked about Rantanen. He said he's just a soldier. And what he means by that is he just goes to work every day. He's not, sometimes on the power play, he might sort of be on the periphery and you don't notice him, and all of a sudden he gets a puck and he makes a play. He competes. His one-on-one battles along the wall, of course, his puck possession is incredible, but then he adds in these layers of incredible skill. So I'm fawning over him because he really is a special player. This past week, the Islanders' hit against Alexander Romanov was awful, especially because of the outcome. And Romanov got hurt. I saw that he has to have surgery. He's going to miss 5 or 6 months because of a shoulder injury. But if you go back and watch that one, it's late in the game. The Stars are trying to tie it. They're chasing it a little bit. He goes in hard on the forecheck, and Scott Mayfield, Romanov's defensive partner, clips him with his skate. Like, he's trying to hold him up, right? He does that all the time. They never call interference on the other defenseman. I hate that. That drives me crazy because it's interference, it's obstruction, but whatever. So he does that like you see a million times a game. And Rantanen starts to stumble and he goes down. And I agree when he owned up to it afterwards. He said, look, I apologize. I sent him a text. I hope he's okay. I probably shouldn't have extended my arms. He goes, I put my hands out just to protect myself. And then I probably pushed him a little bit. I shouldn't have done that. But it wasn't like he was going to run at the guy. And the same thing happened with Coronado the other night in Calgary. Is I think he's just trying to play hard. Now, he's got to pull out of that hit, right? I think we all see that and go, you can't finish that guy the way he did into the boards coming from the backside like that. Gully had an interesting conversation with the media in Edmonton today. We were watching it from Dallas, and saying that if Bichel hadn't stepped up on the play, then maybe Coronado doesn't turn back. And so then he's just following him down the wall. But either way, I'm very big of, especially when we talk about checks to the head, obviously the boarding penalties, things like that. Players will say, he's half my size or he turned this way or that way. we all know in today's NHL, the onus is on the initiator of contact, right? You have to know whether you're going to check him in the numbers, from the side, legal or illegal. You can't hit him in the head. And so it's just, I don't think he's a thug at all, but it's a bad week, and he deserved to have to sit because of the automatic suspension rule.
Yeah. He's out for one night, then he'll come back. What's the update on Harley? How long's he out?
You know, that one's a quiet one because he's still week to week, and I don't think it's anything that's I'm speculating here, so forgive me because this is not reporting of any frame at all here. I don't think that this is jeopardizing his chances for the Canadian Olympic team, but I also know he's not on the trip, right? Okay. Just like Ilya Lyubushkin isn't on the trip. I know Matt Duchene is, but he's not playing tonight. I don't think Duchene's going to play tomorrow either. I don't know how much you guys talk to Glenn Gulutzan on a day-to-day basis as an assistant over the last 7 seasons. He's an incredibly personable guy. But, you know, when you're the head guy, you have to speak every day. And you start to, especially coaches that aren't super forthcoming with injury information. Now, Gully's very honest and upfront with us with a lot of things. But we're sort of trying to learn the Glenn Gulutzan injury language, which is, you know, what does day-to-day really mean? What is week-to-week? What does out for a little bit? You know, what does I'm optimistic? You know, those kinds of things. You start to read the tea leaves. I would be very surprised, not stunned, but surprised if we saw Duchene tomorrow night in Seattle. I think the better chance is maybe either Friday or Sunday when the Stars play home games after Thanksgiving. And then we'll see on that. Harley and Lyubushkin are clearly farther than that. I know Nils Lundqvist just started skating on his own, but I think he's still a ways away as well. So not that the Oilers or any other NHL team have any sympathy because everybody's dealing with this, but Dallas has some very important pieces that are out of the lineup right now.
Yeah. So, you know, Harley not even skating, you know, that tells me he's at least minimum a week away, if not longer than that. And so, yeah, probably multiple weeks for him. How's Jake Ottinger played this year?
You know, it's funny because he absolutely stole the game in Vancouver the other night. Like, just completely robbed them of 2 points. But also had a rough first period where I didn't like the goals he gave up. And he admitted it and said, I didn't like that. And, you know, Jason, I've been sort of stewing with this because we've been playing this graphic on our DLS Stars show that Craig Ludwig came up with, which is a brick wall, but with a couple cracks in it. And he's been using that as this sort of not very clever and not very subtle analogy about Jake Ottinger's play is that generally he's fantastic, but there's been some cracks and stuff in it. And I'm not saying that he has to have a soft goal just to get his head right. But what I am saying is I've been really impressed with, and I think you have to be an elite goalie, especially in the mental side of the game, to be able to give up a goal or two that you don't like, and then draw a line in the sand and say, no more. I'm not giving up anymore. I'm going to reset, and I'm shutting you down. And I think all the NHL greats in the history of the league have been able to, at one point or another, not have their best game to start and sort of dig in and find a way to get a result. And so, while the numbers as far as save percentage, goals against don't look unbelievable for Jake Ottinger, he's got a lot of wins, and I think that's the most important thing.
Oh, Newkirk joins us talking Dallas Stars. They are in town tonight taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Jamie Benn, of course, missed the first 5-6 weeks of the season. How's he look since returning?
He looked really good. The hands are there. The physicality, he looks like Jamie Benn. Now, this is Jamie Benn in his mid-30s, right? This is not Jamie Benn on Team Canada at Sochi in 2014 where I mentioned Sidney Crosby earlier, literally said if he were to start a franchise, he'd build it around a guy like Jamie Benn. And so he's in the back half, the back nine of his career. We don't know how many more years he's going to play, probably year to year how he feels. But I do know that they really missed him because he is a huge leadership and emotional guy for this group. Now, they're not counting on him for the kind of offensive output they used to have, but not having him in the lineup is definitely something that they missed.
You mentioned Glenn Gulutzan. How much of an impact has he had on this red hot power play?
Well, he will give all the credit because of the kind of guy he is to Neil Graham, who was the former Texas Stars head coach in the AHL, who was hired to be part of Gully's staff. He's the one that runs the power play and the forwards. And Gully has said, and I really find it fascinating because of the time he spent with the Oilers, that the coaches there allowed him the autonomy to run the power play the way he wanted. Now, of course, every head coach will have a say and a sounding board and that kind of thing. It's not as though they just say, hey, it's your job. I'm going to forget about it and never talk to you about power play again. But he has said he's allowed Neil Graham the same because that's what he was able to do in Edmonton, and he really appreciated being able to grab the reins and take that. So he insists that that Neil Graham deserves a lot of credit, and I won't fight him over that. But I've had the same thought that you mentioned, which is it can't be a coincidence that Gully goes to Edmonton and helps that group turn into the elite of the elite on the power play, and the group here, which has been under Steve Spott and Pete DeBoer as the head coach, very good, but they've been even better so far this year. So I think Gully deserves some credit, but he will very, very selflessly say it's all Neil Graham.
Okay. Lastly, if you look at the Stars, and if there was a wish list for Jim Nill, what's on that wish list for the trade deadline or before?
Oh, okay. Well, a couple things. And I don't take a deep side, not because I don't have an answer here, but because I don't know how he's going to pull it off. He'll find a way, right? There'll be some way. But I think even with everybody being healthy, that there are two things that the Dallas Stars are missing. But the biggest one was a top six winger. And when you lose Mason Marchment and Mikael Granlund to free agency, well, they couldn't keep either one of them because of salary cap issues. But Granlund got a better deal going to free agency, and they traded Marchment to open up space because of Rantanen's contract and Wyatt Johnson's, etc. So they're missing, to me, a left wing that can play either on the first or the second line. They've had Sam Steele playing in that role. He's been very good. Nothing against Sam Steele, but they're a better team if Steele is in your bottom six, just because it means that you have that much more depth ahead of him. And so that's, to me, the number one thing. They always talk about adding another right-handed defenseman because Dallas is very left shot heavy on the blue line. The guy we saw the other night who had a heck of a week, Rasmus Anderson, keeps getting thrown around from Calgary. Jason, with the way the Stars have been making trades over the last few years, I don't know how many more picks and prospects they have available to make those moves. Now, maybe you find a player and make a hockey trade out of it. And look, I've never, ever ruled out that Nill can get it done. He's been too good for too long. But that's my biggest concern is I just don't know how many ingredients they have to still make another free agent, trade deadline kind of cake.
Yeah, they do have their 2027 first, but you're right. They don't have their 26 or their 28 already. So, yeah, if you're going after Anderson, you're basically saying, okay, we're not going to have a first rounder for 3 years. And that's probably not the best. But if they think they're that close, Rasmus Anderson, he'd fit into any salary cap. He's not a big hit. He's obviously a very good player. And I agree. I think their backhand has to improve a lot. Like obviously I love Lindell and I love Heiskanen and Harley, but I think they need another top four. I don't think they have another top four defense.
Do you want my my little sort of bed pillows sleeper pick that I have in my head that I've said on the show, so it's not a secret, but here's my hunch. I just wonder if the Seattle Kraken aren't in the running for the playoffs when we get close to the deadline. If Dallas doesn't just kick the tires at bringing Mason Marchment back at a 50% salary retention, so it'd be about a $2 million cap hit just for the end of this season and a playoff run. Because when he was healthy with Matt Duchene, who will be healthy at some point, and Tyler Seguin, that line was incredible last year. They were one of the best lines in hockey when healthy. And then, of course, Marchment took a deflective shot to the face. That derailed things, and they just didn't quite, connect it all together. I'm not saying that it's going to happen or anything like that. And I know that they just traded him away. So to trade him back, and I don't even think necessarily they'd be able to bring him back and then re-sign him and keep him after this year. But it's a fun little thought exercise of, well, if you think that you like Robertson, Hintz, and Rantanen, and you've got this, Duchesne, Sagan, and somebody, and you could have Wyatt Johnston centering a line. Maybe you go kick the tires and try to find a way to get Mason Marchment back.
Yeah. Wow, that would be – I thought you were going to say Jamie Alexiak. I'm like, okay, I could see that. But –
I could see that too.
He's a lefty, right? And they've got Hartley's a lefty, Lindell's a lefty, Heiskanen's a lefty. I know that Heiskanen can play both sides, but ideally you probably want at least one righty in your top four. Now, doesn't mean you have to have it. Detroit won, I think, once when they only had 2 right-handed players on their whole team. So you can definitely do it. But yeah, I thought you were going to say Alexiak. And I'm like, yeah, I think if Seattle is out, that Alexiak will be highly sought after by a lot of teams because he's massive.
Maybe they could do a twofer because I don't know if you recall this, but when Alexiak was with the Stars before the expansion draft, right, he was going to be a free agent. That's why they didn't sign him to an extension because you sign him and then Seattle just takes him. Well, they took him anyway and then got him to sign. He was playing as a partner with Miro Heiskanen, and Alexiak was playing on his right when Miro was young coming into the league.
Yeah.
And now obviously Heiskanen has shown he can play on either side and it doesn't really matter. I thought Gulletson said something interesting the other day because we've long talked about this and said, well, you have Miro Heiskanen and he's so good. Why are you making him play on his offside? Why not put him where he should be and find a piece that goes with him? And Gully said, I don't think it really matters what at this level, and especially at the elite Heiskanen level, what side the D plays on. He goes, I just think it's important for continuity. Consistently playing them on that side, whether it's right or left. He says, I think that's more important than playing on your offside. He says, as long as you're not moving back and forth a lot. I thought that was an interesting comment.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Jake Wallman's even said, he goes, hey, as long as I don't want to go left, right, left, right, left, right. If I'm playing one side and I'm there, I can get used to it. So it'll be good stuff. Owen, great stuff, man. We appreciate it. Enjoy the game.
Thank you, Jason. Always a pleasure.
There you go. That's Owen Newkirk joining us from Dallas. DLLS. When we return, 5 questions. Then we got Ike Howard coming up and more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints, are excited to be back on the ice at the brand new Thompson Family Arena. Be part of the action and enjoy some of the best junior hockey Canada has to offer by experiencing a Saints game for your next outing. Tickets range from $10 to $17 with free parking and some of the best food and drink specials in town. For more information on tickets and how you can become a partner, go to sgsaints.ca.
Sports 1440 is proud to support the Camrose Kinsman Radio Auction. Tune in Friday from 6 p.m. to midnight, live from the Bailey Theater on our sister station, New Country 98.1. All proceeds go to the Kinsman Club of Camrose to serve the community's greatest needs. For more, visit sports1440.ca.
Hey, winter is really freaking cold, right? So play it smart. Don't get caught freezing in your car with your pants down and no power. At Big Toy Shop right now, lead-acid batteries are just $129. $129 is a great price for a good start. Big Toy Shop. Power up and save some bucks at Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road, 780-298-2797.
This Friday, 6 p.m. till midnight, don't miss the 71st annual Kinsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person this Friday night at the Bailey Theatre on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. It's Terrific Tuesday. Get 40% off any regular priced pizza when you use the code word 40Tuesday at the start of each pizza order at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$4.49. Welcome back, Gregor Halley. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. It's the Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where your one-stop shop. Get in the game, live dealer, lottery, instance. Of course, you got Lotto Max tonight, $55 million. And new at PlayAlberta.ca, the Jason Gregor Show daily special for you. Some boosted odds. Got a few of them for you today. So check it out, PlayAlberta.ca. Click the sports tab and then look at the daily specials. You see the Jason Gregor Show. And one has McDavid, 3+ shots with Bouchard an assist, and Bouchard ending the evening as a plus player. He is +9 in their 12 games this month. Has been excellent, in fact, for the Edmonton Oilers. I'd argue being their best player in November. Been really good. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, where stop in, because coming up in a few days, it is Black Friday, where you can get save up to $1,000 on genuine leather sofas and sectionals. Also, mattresses are 40% off. With every mattress purchase, you're entered for a chance to win a cruise. And all of that. You can get those Black Friday prices right now. You don't have to wait. Beat the lines. Do it today at The Brick.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, as per tradition, let's get a score prediction and a bold prediction for tonight's Oilers Stars game.
Well, the Oilers have actually been good at home, so I will stick with them being good at home, and they win 4-3. And I don't know how bold it is, but I'll just say Zach Hyman scores his first goal of the season.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's going to be a close one. I'll go 3-2. Oilers win. 2 power play goals. I'm going to say they draw some penalties and capitalize on them. So 2 power play goals in this one. Question number 2. Last 2 years, we've seen the Stars eliminated by the Edmonton Oilers. This season, with the team they have, how far do you think they can go?
I think it's going to be hard to get out of their division with Colorado. So I can say they can go to the second round. I don't think they get farther.
I'm with you. And my response was going to be, when do they play the Avs? So, like, if you get the Avs, that's just such a tough matchup. They are so dang good right now. Only 1 regulation loss. So I think that's kind of where they are gone. Question number 3 for you. We've got Ike Howard coming up on the show, or as Wanye Gretz likes to say, and many of the other Oiler fans out there, the Iceman. So when it comes to NHL nicknames, what would you say is your favorite?
Go ahead.
I mean, it's tough to go against the Great One. Like, that's just such a good, simple name. And then my next one is Mr. Hockey. Like, I kind of take the 2 big iconic ones, but just simple. I mean, how can you be better than the Great One? Well, maybe you're named after the game. So those 2 to me stand out.
Yeah, no, those are, if I'm going the best though, and this guy doesn't rank up at the as some of the best players by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going with the missing link Gates. That was a sick, trust me, that guy had he was missing something. All right, he was a little bit off his rocker. Tough. And I mentioned it earlier. The Rat, Kenny Linsman, that was pretty good. And what about the Dominator?
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty good nickname.
Yeah, we're some of us, maybe just me, critical of NHL nicknames, but there are some really good ones out there. Actually, question number 4 for you. Sad news today, as curling legend Colleen Jones passed away at the age of 65 after a battle with cancer. In honor of her, who are your goats when it comes to curlers? And we'll tell you on the women's side.
Well, Sandra Schmirler for sure. I will probably would say Colleen Jones and Jennifer Jones. Those would be my 3.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue on Sandra Schmirler as well. Unfortunately, she's gone way too soon as well. But I'll also throw Rachel Homan in there as well. One of the newer generation.
Yeah.
She's been fantastic. So she'd be right
really
up there.
Good. Yeah, I think she had won like 30 consecutive games against Canadians until she lost her for she was 3-1 hit her start.
Yeah.
Right now at the Olympic trials, but no, she is that's her actually really good one. Dominant. Plus, she's from Beaumont now.
Yeah, you got to respect
Shout
that.
out. Yeah.
And leading currently 3-0 in the third.
You know what, Cons? I'm very disappointed because there had a lot of texts come in. Gregor, I can't believe you didn't give yourself credit. What about the human rake? It's true. Not gonna lie, that was a sick nickname. And actually, you know what? I saw wrong. So because every time I see it now, I just call him the rake. I'm like, hey, rake, and he always laughs. Right? I know people think he was kind of a dick at times, but he has a pretty good sense of humor. So I just saw him because he was just in town doing the Prime game a week and a half ago or 2 weeks, whenever it was. And so yeah, that's what I call him now because we did pods together and stuff. So I just call him the rake. It's hilarious.
Final question for you today. It is apparently shopping reminder day, which serves as a reminder to get that Christmas shopping done. It's a month away.
Shopping reminder. This is like the worst. What? This is a day shopping reminder. Whoever comes up with these, they should be fired. Shopping reminder day. What does that even mean now? Come on.
Maybe there's someone out there that just heard that statement and is like, oh yeah, I better get on it.
Oh,
so my question for you is, when do you start Christmas shopping and when do you think you're typically done Christmas shopping?
Oh, dude, you know what? I used to be like, I love the thrill of it. I would shop a lot when I was young and single on like the 23rd. But I went and like I had a list. I knew what I wanted and I was in and I was out and it was efficient. Now, I had no kids, right? So I'd buy for my nieces and nephews, and usually my siblings would give me, like, wasn't like I had to think of these great gifts. They just kind of give me a list. Well, I'll be honest. When they were younger, I was like the favorite uncle, but probably the least favorite amongst my siblings because like I'd buy the loudest toys ever, like fire trucks with all this, just going crazy. I loved it. Kids loved it. And I could just see the parents like, you're dead. But now I would say that most of my shopping gets done early. I have a list. I kind of keep track of some things. I don't have to buy a ton. I take kind of notes, but I would say most of my Christmas shopping now is done at the latest by probably the 15th.
Smart. Yeah.
So there's I kind of, as you get older, but I still miss the thrill of being like, oh my God, like I got to get in there. And because some days you'd have a list, but then something's out. Now you got to ad lib. There's just something like about being on a deadline. Like I remember shopping actually on the 24th. Like I didn't love it, but I did it a few times. And I can't lie. So I never had to shop at like a convenience store, which I know some people have done. Like that's when you've reached the bottom. Like you've reached the bottom of caring. You might as well not even give them a gift if you got to buy at a convenience store. Sorry.
I will say asterisk lotto tickets, like the scratch cards. I've done that at the convenience store for sure. Christmas morning, like, yeah, it's open. Let's go grab a few stocking stuffers there just to sweeten it up a little bit. I wish I was as quick as you. I have not started yet. I plan to be done in 2 weeks though.
All right,
it's not too
bad.
complicated.
No, that's not too bad.
A lot of gifts. Like my parents aren't great at giving me what they'd like. So you kind of have to just go with something functional that they'll use.
Yeah.
But within 2 weeks, I think I'll make sure I get it done. I don't want to be that last minute shopper. I've done it before. It is a luxury to work at the mall and we can get out there and get it done. But
it's true.
I'd like to get it done before that.
Now, let's be honest. Does your wife do most of the shopping for your child?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah. No denying that.
No.
I've bought him a
greatest.
Justin Herbert jersey and a Vlad Guerrero jersey.
Okay. So a few things you've contributed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've contributed some. That's fair. Okay. I get it.
There's a theme with it though. Yeah. It's sports related. I'll buy.
Yeah.
Everything else she's knocking it out of the park with.
Yeah. No, that's fair. You got to know, like there's certain, I always say that if your spouse or partner likes doing something, why would I want to take that joy away from them? Right? I call my wife the arranger. She likes that stuff. So I arrange a lot of other things, but there's certain things like I'm just not, you know what? Like she likes to buy all this stuff in advance. So like I have a say in some of the things. Of course, like we sit down and discuss, hey, I think it needs this or that, whatever. But then she goes and gets it all. It's fantastic. So, and she likes being organized. So it's great. Like she tries to be too organized and like wants to see what I got her. And I'm like, beat it. But so no, it's good. There's certain things like my wife, I know that this is going to sound, but my wife likes cleaning. It's a very weird thing. Except like I clean the kitchen. Like I do like cleaning the kitchen. Like every night for dinner, it's just therapeutic, man. Turn the light on. Or when we built our house, I got a light installed directly over the sink because there's nothing worse, especially in the wintertime. It's dark at 5 o'clock. Even if you're at the kitchen window, can't see anything, right? I need a light right over it because there's nothing worse than someone washing dishes and not cleaning and they miss a spot. It drives me up the wall. So I've got like a spotlight right down, right over the sink. You can't miss anything. And it's therapeutic for me. I like cleaning I like cleaning the kitchen, everything all the time. Never complain. Like I'll be like, sit down, I'll do it. I go to people's house, I can clean dishes, doesn't bother me at all. It's the one thing now. I don't get off work till 6. So if I did all the cooking, we would need till 8. So that is an advantage that I don't have to do much of the cooking. So, but I'll do all the cleaning of the kitchen. That is not the other places. Kitchen. So, and the driveway, like, like that's one thing. Like, man, I'm up early. If there's snow out, I'm out there. And my handheld, the built shovel that I make, how I have the hockey stick with the plywood, somehow I snapped the shaft of the hockey stick. So I'm rattled. So I got to go find a new one. So rattled. I need, anybody got a broken, somebody's got to have one. I just need a broken shaft of a hockey stick to piece a new one together. So that's what I'm on the lookout for now. Anybody got a broken one? Let me know. I'll come get it. Let's get to the Con Man of Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. They got winter tires at cost. Yeah, that's right, at cost. Don't believe me? Check it out yourself. NorthgateGM.com. Say hi to Mike and the gang down at Northgate.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hosting the Dallas Stars down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker gets going at 6 right here on Sports 1440 in the association. 3 games getting going shortly. You got the Wizards and the Hawks later on tonight. Magic and Philly, and the Lakers up against the Clippers. The International Testing Agency announcing today that Canadian swimmer Penny Oleksiak has been given a 2-year ban from competition for an anti-doping rule violation. The ITA stating Oleksiak accepted the suspension for committing 3 whereabouts failures between October 2024 and June 2025. The 25-year-old is Canada's most decorated female Olympian with 7 Olympic gold medals plus 9 World Championship medals in her career. Sad news today from the curling world. A 6-time Scottish champion and 2-time world champion Colleen Jones passing away at the age of 65 after a battle with cancer. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we will be joined by Bakersfield Condors forward Ike Howard and Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Think your credit's not good enough for a new ride? Think again. Go Auto's car loan calculator is here to help. No commitments, no credit hits, just real answers. You tell us a few things, and we'll show you what you can afford. Text credit to 780-777-7777. That's credit to 780 all sevens. Go Auto. We do the math, so you can do the driving.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Get Black Friday prices now at The Brick. Skip the line and save big. Get 65% off reclining sofas when you buy the matching Love Cedar chair. Plus, get up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. And buy more, save more. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Mattresses are up to 40% off. And with every mattress purchase, you're entered for the chance to win a cruise. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Basketball Show turns 10, and we welcome a new generation of basketball talk. Hoop City with Paul Sir airs Saturday mornings from 10 till noon on Sports 1440. From grassroots to NBA to the Olympics, we've got you covered.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal, and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the only place to call for heating your home. So when it's time to replace your old furnace, call Legacy, or for 24-hour repair with no overtime rates. Legacy even heats your shower with hot water tanks. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. And with no interest and no payments for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's after 5 o'clock. How are you? Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember the new Jason Gregor Show special. Get in on it. Gets odds boost. Some good odds on that one today. Plus 540, plus 460. Check it out with some Bouchard, an assist, a plus, and McDavid over 3 shots on goal. McDavid in 8 home games has 34 shots on goal. Has not been afraid to shoot the puck on home ice. Edmonton Oilers, of course, taking on the Dallas Stars tonight. And we're going to get to our top guest of the day, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist. They remind you, it's getting that time of year. Lights on. Drive safe, especially through construction zones, because they're fans like you and they want to get home and watch the game. That's GS Construction. And we are joined by a gentleman who scored his first NHL goal, added his second NHL goal, and now is getting an opportunity to play some big minutes down in Bakersfield, and hasn't disappointed. Has 7 points in his first 4 games with the Condors, including 2 goals. Ike Howard joins us. Isaac, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, Jason.
Hey, I appreciate it. I know it's kind of bittersweet, right? Like the goal is obviously you want to be an NHL player. And at the same time, though, you look and say, hey, like, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to get to play a ton of minutes. Can you kind of take us through the conversations you maybe had with Stan Bowman or Chris Knobloch before you went down?
Yeah, I mean, I think just good conversations about getting more looks down here, more ice time, more opportunity, and then just focusing on kind of playing maybe a little bit more my style of game. And, I think it's been good just to get in more situations, a lot more puck touches, things like that. So it's been good.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Hey, everybody, it's hard. Like I've talked to so many players to go from, and I don't think you've probably ever experienced it, where, you know what, you go from playing 20 minutes a night, maybe when you're younger, it's 25. And then all of a sudden you're playing 8, 9, 10, 11 minutes. It's hard to stay in the game and really feel like you can contribute. Like it becomes a skill set, a guy who can contribute in limited minutes.
Yeah, I think, obviously I was trying to find my way and figuring things that worked for me in that, limited role and staying engaged. Because, yeah, I mean, it can be hard sometimes if you don't play for 5-10 minutes, then, you get a puck out there and maybe your hands don't feel the same, your legs don't feel the same. So it was a fun challenge to be able to kind of learn what works for me in order to stay engaged. And then, obviously when you play a lot, then it just comes natural and you kind of just go with the flow of the game.
So when you go, is there anything specific that you felt you learned in your time in the NHL to say, okay, this is what I want to work on and make in my game even better, so the next time I come up, I'm going to play even more minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I think just obviously there's a lot, like just little details of, making sure you make smart decisions with the puck. You don't want to be having any turnovers and things like that. But the biggest thing for me was I just wanted to come back to kind of playing more my style game and obviously be responsible both ways, but contribute more offensively. And I think that's kind of been a thing I've been focused on so far here, and it's been good.
Ike Howard joins us. And you come down, and it's always nice. It's a new team. I know you knew some of the guys from training camp, but you come in and boom, you get 2 points in each of your first 3 games. I don't care what league you play in. You always want to feel like it contributed and kind of fit into the room. It's a lot easier when right away you're producing.
Yeah, because it's anytime you go to a new team, even if you know guys, like you join a team mid-season, it's always a little different. Like you're just entering a different dressing room, group of guys, things like that. So it was good to try to acclimate as quickly as possible. And definitely when you can contribute on the ice, I feel like it makes it easier just to get into the rhythm and the flow of the team and things like that.
Have you talked with Colin Chalk? Are you going to get on the penalty kill or more just all 5-on-5 and power play?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had too many specific talks. I talked K-Mac talked to me one time before the game, and I was able to get one penalty kill out there. And yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously, I would like to be on the penalty kill, learning that thing. I think that'd be a great tool to add to my game. But we'll see where it goes. Did you
penalty kill in college?
Yeah, last year I started penalty killing, and I really like it. Like I think it's a good thing to have in the toolbox. And I enjoyed whenever my name would get called to get out there.
I talked to Connor and Leon, and obviously they're high-end offensive guys, and they felt they kind of knew what the power play guys like to do, so they felt like it helps them sometimes as a penalty killer in certain situations. You're kind of like, well, he's going to want to go here, and this is why, right? And most high-end offensive guys, like, you think the game very well. Did you find when you killed penalties that you're automatically like, okay, I think I know what they want to do here? Is it easier to anticipate a bit when you're a guy who kind of understands what the offensive guys want to do in that situation?
For sure. I think you can place yourself in their skates more, and even on like breakage and stuff, you kind of know the tendencies where they want the puck to go, how they want to, bring it back to the top and certain things like that, just from being on the power play for so long. And, I think that's a good advantage.
You came down and kind of seemed to have instant success. Tell me about your line mates and why it's worked so well so quickly.
Yeah, I've been playing primarily with Hudson and Szymanski, and they've both been having great years, super successful here. So it was kind of an easy transition to get in with them, and Hudson can shoot the puck really well, and I think Szymanski can distribute it really well. So I think it's been a good blend of a line.
You obviously had the thrill of your first NHL game this year, and you got to experience that. You got to experience like 17 of them, which is, I'm sure it hasn't worn off yet. But you were down there when Clattenburg got called up. Was it kind of cool to see someone else experience like that moment of, oh my God, I'm going to the show?
It was, yeah, and just see like how obviously excited he was, and I think that's a well-deserved call up. Like my first game here, he had 3 fights, and it's just he's just kind of a crazy man out there, and it's pretty fun to watch and to have on your team.
When you have a guy like that, Isaac, is it now you came from a household with lots of brothers, so I'm assuming every now and then there had to be a few Howard dust-ups. When you have a teammate that's like that, is it infectious a little bit? There's all of a sudden, it's like, geez, maybe I should run a guy. Or is that, you're like, nah, I'll just let someone else do that?
It definitely is infectious. Like, I think, guys get amped up. The game gets, the stakes get bigger. It just gets, everyone kind of seems to get more into the game, like, when you have that. And, I've seen, there's a bunch of other guys that also fought here as well. And, I think it helps kind of get everyone into the game and get engaged.
I want to go back to your first few weeks in the NHL. What was your kind of wow, welcome to the NHL moment?
I mean, I don't know if there's anything specific. I think, just kind of everything that goes into, like, just how professional everything is, world class, playing at different venues, sold out, big crowds. I think just kind of what I envisioned it being is kind of what it was. And, that's just like kind of a cool moment to reflect on. And obviously I was dreaming of it for so long. So to kind of be in that place for a couple months, it was pretty fun.
What about, the opportunity that, you found yourself, you had multiple shifts with two of the greatest players in the world. And, you're still a young guy and you're a hockey fan. You've been a hockey fan your whole life. Was there, okay, I got to get focused here and not think about, holy crap, I'm playing with McDavid and Draisaitl?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's pretty sweet just to hear that and be on the ice with those guys. I think as a player, like, when that stuff happens in the middle of a game, it's actually much easier than, I don't know, if you got to think about it the night before or something like that. Because once you're in the middle of the game, you're just thinking about the game, your next shift, and when you get thrown out with them, you're just trying to do something and, help the team. So that was kind of easier, but obviously it's super cool just to anytime get out with those guys and play with them.
Where is your first goal puck from an Ottawa game? Where is it now? Have you got it framed? On that? Because I
got it. Yep. Yeah, the team got it framed, which is pretty cool, and it's somewhere still up in Edmonton. Not totally sure. I'm guessing at the rink somewhere. So
okay, you're gonna have to. Well, I guess because you were staying at the hotel, right? So you didn't really, you're kind of living just out of the hotel, were you not?
Yeah, just staying out of the hotel, and then I came into Bakersfield like middle of the road trip, so I I just had whatever I brought on the road trip.
Okay. Now in Bakersfield, are you living in a hotel or are you living in a room or living in a house with some teammates?
I'm just in the Marriott next to the rink here in the hotel.
Now, is there a plan like to stay there long term, or are you planning to get a place? What's the plan?
There's no plan right now.
How is living in a hotel?
It's about what you'd expect. It's it's okay. Like, no kitchen obviously isn't great. I like cooking dinners and stuff like that, so got to eat out a lot. But when they clean your room, make your bed every day, that's a plus. So
Wow, they got to get you in a kitchenette room here soon. I have to talk to Chalker about that. You got to get at least a kitchenette. What if you're
cooking up some steak?
Yeah. So if Ike Howard's in the kitchen, like what's the go-to if you're inviting the boys over? What are you making for dinner?
Some nice ribeyes for sure. Some ribeyes, sweet potato, avocado, some eggs. That's kind of my go-to.
Now, what like hard-boiled eggs? What are you covering them up? What are you doing for eggs?
Sunny side up eggs, just to pair with the steak.
Ooh.
And my avocado. Now I'll throw some dates in there too. Drizzle honey over everything. It's pretty good.
All right. So now, obviously, you went to college. You had to learn to cook a little bit. But who helped you learn how to cook?
It was kind of a trial and error process in college, to be honest. Like, I'd say when I first started off, I was pretty terrible of a cook, and then last year I kind of started dialing in and learning how to, cook a good steak, things like that. And wasn't necessarily anyone teaching me. It was just more of a trial and error thing over the years.
Now, in Bakersfield, it's a little more at times like a college schedule, right? Now, I know you play the odd weekday game, which is different, but you have a little bit more practice time, a little bit more gym time. So that's something you're used to. Whereas the NHL, it was like, you're playing every second day. Obviously, guys love playing, but did you notice, like, was there an adjustment just body fatigue-wise when you're playing so much and you don't have as much downtime as you've been used to?
I actually kind of liked it, to be honest. Like, games are the best part, I would say. So it was actually nice as a hockey player to play so much. And, I didn't really have any fatigue or anything like that. Actually, honestly, I did like it. And now we get more time to kind of go back to more schedule. You can get some longer practices in, maybe a little bit more intense and things like that. So, either way, I'm honestly good with it. I like it.
And what do you make of the rink in Bakersfield?
It's a pretty solid setup. The first game I was here, we had a lot of fans. I think our next game is like a teddy bear toss night, so I'm sure a lot of fans will show up again. I think it's a solid setup. It's been good.
Did you have teddy bear toss in college?
We didn't. When I was with the U.S. national program, we had it. So I've had it once in my career.
Okay. Have you ever scored the teddy bear toss goal?
I did score that goal, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, gee. So you're 1 for 1. Well, that's not bad odds. Pretty good odds. Because there is.
Might as well go 2 for 2, I guess.
I was going to say, man, it's funny. I don't care what level you play at. The guys want to score the teddy bear toss goal. It's still kind of, it's fun little bragging rights to get everybody to go nuts in the building and see all the teddies flying. And you guys are, you're taking on, I think it's Henderson this Saturday night is your next home game.
Yep.
So. Outside of hockey, what do you do in your spare time?
Just like in general, or since like in Bakersfield?
Just in general, kind of like, obviously you have more spare time there than you probably had in Edmonton, but even in Edmonton, like, are you a book reader? Are you a gamer? What do you do in your spare time?
I enjoy golf in my spare time when I can. Like, that's a fun killer. I'll read a little bit of books, play some video games sometimes, go out to dinner with some guys, maybe go to a casino or two, kill some time, just kind of whatever.
How's your golf game?
It's okay. It's getting better. It's a process.
Have you hit the links since you've been down there? I know it was raining lots when we talked to the GM a few weeks ago. Has the rain stopped?
Yeah, the rain stopped now. I haven't gone yet, but I'm definitely planning on going soon. When I first came here, the first like 4 days or 5 days, it was just like raining all day long. So it was kind of tough to do anything outside, but now it's gotten better.
That'll be awesome. Well, Isaac, thanks for joining us again. Continued success. It's been a great start for you, and that keeps going. And it's probably not going to be long before we see you face-to-face again. So continued success.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
Appreciate it.
You listen to Jason Gregor Show.
Howard, 7 points in his first 4 games in Bakersfield, playing a lot more minutes, and got the right attitude. He's got to touch the puck. You got to play a lot. You get to play in lots of different situations. You're up a goal. You're down a goal. Maybe he's going to get a little penalty kill time. He's obviously going to be tons of power play time. He's playing with Szymanski and Hudson. They're going to be expected to be a scoring line, and they have been since he's gone down there. And it's a perfect situation for him. It's a perfect situation. You want guys, especially offensive players, scoring. You want to keep their offensive confidence up. So when he comes up here, now he's not going to get to play 20 minutes probably right off the hop, but he can play 14. And the thing is, if he gets a chance, he probably buries it because he's had a lot of confidence rather than you keep a guy up for playing 8, 9, 10 minutes a night, scoring 1 goal every 10 games. It's just not the same. It's not the same for those guys. So you look at Matt Savoy, and that year in the minors did not hurt his development at all. And I think Ike Howard's going to be in the exact same situation. Only difference is he might not have to be down there the entire year. We'll see. We will return, talk more about the Oilers and the Dallas Stars with the DVD next. It's Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Start your day with a blast of sports. Kevin Carius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticeCenter.com/events.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at Cantork.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Game day continues on. Of course, we got pregame show coming up at 6 o'clock. Oilers and the Stars. If you missed the lineup, Oilers going with the exact same lineup tonight. David, of course, will be centering Savoy and Roslovic. You'll have Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Mangiapane. Henrique with Hyman and Frederick. Tomasic with Janmark and Clattenburg. You have Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse Regula, Kulak, Emberson, and Stu Skinner in the pipes. Dallas will counter with Rupe Hintz with Seguin in the red hot Robertson, 10 goals, 4 assists, 14 points in his last 6 games. Wyatt Johnson with Steele and Jamie Benn. So there'll be a big Ardrossan contingent there tonight. You got Agawian, we're going with Bork and Bach, Foxa, and Bastian and Blackwell, and then Lindell, Heiskanen, Capobianco, and Kolyakinuk, Michelle, and Petrovic, and Ottinger in goal for. And I think I just butchered the Stars defense. I really guessed on Kolyakinuk, if that's the proper way to say it. I got to look up the enunciation at NHL.com. Or maybe DVD might know what it is, as Derek Van Diest joins us now from NHL.com. DVD, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Do you know how to say his name properly?
No, I just have to know how to spell it. So I don't have to know how to say it. Just have to make sure I got it spelled properly. So yeah, no, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, good. Well, I think I got close, but I might just for fun. I'm gonna have to look it up here.
Yeah,
coming up just to see.
Yeah, there's a pronunciation guide. I think the NHL has.
Oh yeah. No. I had it. I just hadn't looked it up, and so now I'm going to look it up as we're speaking and see how far it's Vladislav Kolyakonak. See, look, I was close.
Kolyakonak. Okay.
Kolyakonak. There we go. Kolyakonak. Say it quicker. It's a little bit smoother. Okay. The Edmonton Oilers. We had Ekholm earlier today talked pretty openly about and you can't downplay the mental wear and tear. It was not an excuse, it's just a fact. And you know what? We played a lot of hockey emotionally, maybe physically, we're not where we want to be. The system's the same. We're just making more mistakes than we have in the past. And you guys kind of be like, hey, we're at 25 game mark here. You can't keep waiting, to get into it. Otherwise, you're in too deep of a hole. And they did show signs, not perfect yet, but the last few games a little bit better. Do you think they can continue it, or is that first home game after a long road trip going to be their downfall?
Yeah, that always is. It always is a tough one, that first home game coming back. They have the home game. They got a couple of days off, and they got to go to Seattle this weekend. It is always tough, but I think there's a point where you got to stop making excuses and just go out there and play the game. And traditionally, the Oilers have struggled coming back from a long road trip. They played a really emotional game in Florida, and they need to expect a really emotional game from Dallas. And I was in the Dallas room this morning, and the way the Oilers went feeling into Florida, about Florida losing to Florida in Stanley Cup Finals, is the way the Stars feel about the Oilers losing in the Western Conference Final 2 years in a row. So they're going to be fired up to play Edmonton tonight, and the Oilers have to be kind of match that intensity now. And I don't know if Florida was able to do that for their game, but the Oilers have to find that, because they know they're going to go up against a very, very motivated hockey club here tonight that has a bit of a grudge. They've lost 2 years in a row. The Florida went to the conference. Dallas has gone to the Western Conference Finals 3 years in a row. They haven't been able to get over the hump. They got rid of their coach. They brought in Gladson. Now this team thinks that they can get back there again, and this is the Oilers are kind of a hurdle to that. So they're gonna have to match that intensity. They're gonna have to come back and play hard against this team. And the Oilers, they caught a break in Florida. They caught a Florida team that had a lot of injuries, and now they caught a break where Dallas is missing, three top defensemen. Harley's not out, and then obviously Rantanen is suspended, so they won't have to deal with him. But there's still a lot of weapons on this Dallas team that the Oilers have to contend with. So, but yeah, I think the key for Edmonton today is having to match that intensity and know that your opponent is really going to be fired up to play tonight.
Yeah, well, hey, Jason Robertson, that's the guy who got a mark, man. It's ridiculous numbers, 10 goals in 6 games and 14 points. I don't care. You go through any 6-game stretch of the season, you got 14 points. That's a half a season for a lot of players in 6 games.
Yeah, we were talking to Glenn Gladson about him this morning, and Jason Robertson's a big, strong player. He's not particularly a super speedy guy. He just gets in the right places at the right times, and he's got a real good head about the game, and he knows where to be. He knows where to go, and when he gets those opportunities, he's burying those opportunities. And we've seen that kind of development of him last year. He was hurt at the beginning of last year, and then when he came back, he was really kind of that whole Four Nations thing. He admitted that it had bothered him trying to make that Four Nations team. He's going to be on the U.S. Olympic team. I don't think there's any doubt about that this time around. But he's just going out there and playing and playing his game. And you can kind of see the maturity in him as we've seen him come through here in the last 3 or 4 years. These kids, some of these kids are getting, more mature and older. And I think he's one of those guys that is just a solid hockey player. He knows where to go. He knows what to do, and he's getting the job done now. And they need that from him. They need him to step up and play that role because they got some older guys on that team. Matt Duchene's not playing tonight. He's still out injured. But they do got some older guys on that team that, the young guys have to kind of step up and maybe take the mantle a little bit here.
Derek Van Diest joins us, Oilers hosting the Dallas Stars later on tonight. Stu Skinner had and Calvin Pickard. I would argue it's the first consecutive solid performance from goaltenders that the Oilers have had all year. They've had good games, but not they didn't have a dominant game, but they are both Tampa and Florida. They got 3 out of 4 points, and their goaltenders were good, right? They each made over 30 saves. So the Oilers would say, hey, we probably got to give up a little bit less chances. Now, they weren't that many glaring chances like they have in the past, but I look at Stu Skinner, and Calvin Pickard was very honest going into that game that, he hadn't had a good game all year, and he's like, I need a good game, and he played well. And Skinner needs to get on a stretch here where he has more than just one good, one bad, one good, one bad. He's got to get into a little bit of a rhythm.
Yeah, he does. And I think the thing I've said about Stuart Skinner is that he's got to eliminate that one bad or one questionable goal a game that sometimes he lets in. And I think, that you don't have to be lights out every night, but you got to be solid. And you have to make the timely save. So when your team is battling back and they cut the lead to 1, you got to make that save to keep it, like we saw, on the road trip. You got to keep it 4-3, and you let in that 5-3 goal. That's really kind of disheartening. So he's just got to be more consistent and not let in that bad goal. I think, he's a good goaltender, but that's the difference between the good goaltenders and the elite goaltenders. The elite goaltenders are not going to let in a bad goal, maybe 1 every 4, 5, 6, 7 games. The good goaltenders, they'll do that 1 every 2 or every 3 games. There's a goal that you go, and that was a bit questionable. That was a bit leaky. And I think that's where he has to improve. And that comes with experience. That comes with age. But I do think that that's where the Oilers want him to be. They want him to get to that elite level and make that big save, make those timely saves. And when the Oilers are pushing and the direction's all going one way, they don't want him to come back and score a goal. And how many times we've seen the Oilers really control the play and then just have the other team come back and score a goal that, it's got a bit of an odor to it, I guess you could say. But that's where I think he's got to eliminate that. He's got to eliminate that bad goal.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally valid. It just starts with, we've talked to Kevin Woodley about the technique, and he's seen some things in Skinner's game that he thinks are coming. He says it's just going to take some time to get a little bit more comfortable with it. I don't know if the organization will have that much time for it. We'll see. But the other thing is in November, really, after a tough October for a lot of guys, Evan Bouchard's game in November DVD has been top shelf. Like, he's played almost as well as he's played. Maybe not the same as he has in the playoffs. Like, he was the best player on the ice for Edmonton against Florida. And I think you can make the argument the last month in November, he's been their best player.
Well, yeah. And I think with Evan Bouchard, there's little intensity to his game. Like, I think that's maybe the urgency or intensity to his game. I think maybe that's the frustration. Seems to play the game at one speed, but he's an intelligent player with the puck. And I think that's the one thing. He's probably a very good passer. He probably makes the outlet pass as good as any defenseman does in this league. It's just the mistakes and then the losing track of people in his own zone and the lack of awareness. I think that's what got him in trouble early on in the season. He would compound that. He'd give the puck away, and then he'd lose his man in his own zone. And it just kind of compounded that. I think his game is starting to get a little better. I do think that not having Coffey behind the bench was a detriment to his game early on, but I think now he's kind of starting to pick it up, and he's a very good player. It's just a matter of you got to get those mistakes out of your game, and those 5 bell horrendous mistakes, horrendous giveaways. You got to get out of your game, and I think his defensive awareness has to be a little better. And I think we're seeing that now as he's getting a bit more comfortable in the season. We're seeing that, yes, he's playing better defensively. He's making better plays with the puck. He's not soft on the puck, which maybe he was a little bit earlier this year. And he's making the good plays both on the blue line and in his own zone in, the last little while. So, yeah, I think he can build off that game in Florida. I thought it was a great game. And then now if the goals start coming, if the shots start getting through, I think we're going to start to see maybe the Evan Bouchard that people expected to see after that, the last 2 playoff runs where he had exceptional playoff runs for this hockey team.
DVD, you look at, Zach Hyman on the third line, and Knobloch said, hey, he's there for the time being. I don't view him as a third line player. It came out, he was hitting everything that moved in Carolina, and then probably reality set in here a little bit. How important do you think it is for Hyman just to get a goal for a guy who's a goal scorer to get going?
Yeah, I think it's really important. And we kind of joked about that the other day when we talked to him at practice. He was shot out of a cannon in his first game. He was so excited to get back. It'd been such a long time. And the legs were there. It was a wrist injury, so he could skate and he can do those things. So, I think the legs are there. But, yeah, he's going to need to kind of get that goal. He's going to need to do the things that he was doing before when it comes to goal scoring, go in the front of the net, get those greasy goals. I don't know how much that injury affected his shot, but I'm sure it must have a little bit. But now I think it's just a matter of getting the feel of the puck back, getting feel of the game, getting up to speed with the game, knowing where the pockets are. And I think you're right. They are going to kind of work him up the lineup because he's missed a lot of time. Like he's missed, first month of the season, first 6 weeks of the season, I guess, and missed all of training camp. So he's really kind of lagging behind in a sense that his gameplay is not up to speed. So I think they're going to have to try and get him up to speed. And I think once he does, that's really going to help this hockey team because we all know what Zach Hyman can bring. He's brought obviously a physical element, but this is a guy that is 2 years removed from scoring 50 goals. So he's a goal scorer, and they need him to score some goals because you can't have McDavid and Draisaitl doing all the offense, and obviously Jack Roslovic is picking up his end of the couch as well. So, but you need some of those other guys to kind of get going and kind of chip in offensively.
DVD. Lastly, I want to get your thoughts on the Rantanen run of a week. He has 2 game misconducts. He gets his second embellishment fine. That actually happened on Remembrance Day, but then it came out public, so he gets fined for that. What did you make of the 2 and 3 games for Rantanen and then the subsequent suspension?
Yeah, it's an automatic suspension, I guess, if you get 2 game misconducts for physical, violations within the first 41 games or something like that. So he was an automatic 1-game suspension. We talked to Glenn Gullickson about that this morning, and we said, you got to kind of rein him in. You got to talk to him. What are you going to do? And he said that he's just such an intense player. He's an emotional player. He plays with his emotions. He goes out there. He's really competitive, and sometimes you're a little blinded by that. If you see a guy's numbers, you got to let up. You can't go through them, and he did that twice, and that's why he's sitting out. But Glenn Gullickson said, listen, we need that emotion from him. We need that leadership from him. Yeah, he had a bad week here. It was a bad week, the way things went. He thought that hit against Coronado, had Coronado not turned back along the boards, maybe it wouldn't have happened. But, yeah, it's just one of those things that you can play with emotion, but it's got to be controlled. And you can't play out of control, and you can't let your emotions get the best of you, and you can't be reckless. And I think, we saw in this last week, he was being a little reckless. And to be honest, he's lucky as a 1-game suspension, automatic 1-game suspension. It could have been worse for both of the hits that he laid out this week. So I just think that, he's a competitive guy, he plays with emotion. He has to get fired up to play. And sometimes that just gets the best of you. So I think this will be an opportunity for him to kind of reset and say, okay, you know what? If I see a guy and I see his numbers, I got to just turn away or not drive him through the boards like he did Coronado the other night.
Yeah, 100%. DVD, enjoy the game tonight, buddy.
Sounds good. See you down there.
There you go. That's Derek Van Diest. Quick break. We'll come back, wrap things up, and then we'll get you to the pregame show. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. You got about an hour and 20 minutes. Get on the Gregor Show special. Check it out, PlayAlberta.ca.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
The basketball show turns 10, and we welcome a new generation of basketball talk. Hoop City with Paul Sir airs Saturday mornings from 10 till noon on Sports 1440. From grassroots to NBA to the Olympics, we've got you covered.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.545. Jason Gregor. Connor Halley with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. We had a lot of great texts in the show today. 833-401-1440. Thanks very much for that. Also, a big shout out to Walks. He's coming in with Donovan, of course, for the pregame show right away. But Walks arranged some food delivery from Triple O's today. The milkshake was unreal. Cons, did you have a milkshake?
I got the eggnog milkshake.
Eggnog. Ooh, how was that?
It was delicious. If you are a fan of eggnog, you definitely want to go check it out. It was unbelievable. Yeah, the new Alberta menu.
Ooh,
only in Alberta.
I had the only in Alberta.
Yeah, special menu. They got a bunch of pickles and stuff. You tried the pickles,
I had
right?
the fried pickle. I love pickles, man. So yeah, the fried pickle was solid. Chicken fingers, of course. So because I'm still a kid at heart, so you got to try those. And you had the burger.
The burger was delicious. Do you ever order chicken strips at a restaurant?
Yeah, I know. My son does. I might have one of his, but no, I don't know if I've had. I can't remember last time. I have chicken wings, lots, but not. I can't recall last time I ordered chicken strips. Not there's anything wrong with it. It's not really don't do much anymore. I think it's probably unfortunate.
I would say there was an age where I was mocked for my chicken strips order at restaurants, but I'm not going to fold, to the norms of society. They're delicious.
Yeah. If you look at the orders, well, really, and getting into head to this game, by the way, thanks again to Triple O's. I would think that the Oilers' chance to win tonight, as long as if they can stay within themselves, because I believe they've been a big proponent of beating themselves. We saw, especially in October, like they had some horrific giveaways in October. But I honestly think tonight they might need Clattenburg's emotion more than they needed it in Florida. Right? Florida, they scored 25 seconds in, boom, you've got it. Right? You feel good about yourself. Bouchard made a great play to Roswick for the second goal. You're like, okay, good, right? I think tonight's a game where you come off that. They need Clattenburg to get the crowd. I think the crowd is going to be hoping that, he'll get a big hit or get in a scrum, and just because that's what they're looking for, right? He might only play 7 minutes, 8 minutes, but it needs to be an impactful one, because I think tonight they might need his emotion more than anything. Right? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a little bit of that motivation anyways for the Oilers, and it couldn't have had to come from Connor Cottenberg, obviously playing in Florida, where, you saw the opposing side hoist Lord Stanley twice. I think that motivation should have been there. Tonight, with the home crowd behind you, you're playing a team that has that exact same scenario, right? And the Dallas Stars, so I think they're going to be motivated, down a few players as well, probably going to have some guys trying to prove themselves with expanded roles. So, yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for, if Clattenburg gets out there, throws a couple hits to get the crowd into it. I mean, he can help you gain some momentum early on in this game if you don't find the back of the net. So, yeah, I think home ice is where you can have a guy like that who can really get the crowd into it early on.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we'll, I'll be interested to see how they go. Hey, boys, what do you think of Stuart Skinner? I think he shows up like he always does against Dallas. Maybe. Well, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Stuart Skinner has a good game against the Stars. I think there's something to be said about you feel good against certain teams, right? Feel good about them. I got to read this text. Hey, Greg's, as a bald man, I find those Dr. Vance commercials pretty offensive. Imagine that same commercial, but about being overweight. It would never pass. I never thought about it that way, Franny. I guess I'd have to listen deeper to the commercial. Is it mocking not having hair?
Yeah, the new hire being bald, and I think it's an old man, I believe.
Oh, yeah, right. Hey, you know what? I say this. When I was, people come up to me all the time now because I've had a shaved head for 20 some years. So I looked older, younger, and now I look younger, older. Because people are used to it. Now luckily I stay in decent shape, not great shape, but decent shape. And so there's pros and cons to it, right? Sometimes maybe when you're younger, you might find a lady who likes the more mature look. All depends. I guess you kind of got to go with it. But it is funny that nowadays in society, I think we've become a little too accepting of being unhealthy. I'm just going to say that. We've become a little too accepting of being unhealthy, and how that's, you love yourself and everything. Yeah, well, okay. But I think we need to be healthier as a society. And that would help us in a lot of different ways. So just my view on it. I think it's a little bit of a laziness factor, where obviously everybody knows that, kids are way less active. There's way more processed food in our society now than ever before. It's not the best food for you. So we can get into the whole thing. But I do think there's something that we might need to reevaluate our views on healthy. Just saying. It's okay to be healthy. I think more of us should strive for health. Physically, mentally, emotionally. That's my thought.
We got an elliptical in the garage now. Just set it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you used it yet?
I hopped on for a few minutes last night. I'm looking forward to doing it again tonight.
Yeah.
The food courts here are tempting, Gregor, let me tell you. So I've gained a little weight. So I'm looking forward to
I know you do eat there a lot, actually.
Oh,
I've noticed that.
It's tough. And then I got
pack a lunch.
I do. And
then you still go there, so you're having 2 lunches?
Sometimes I save the lunch for dinner, take it home.
Well,
I got the Duke with me. He's going to places. I'm like, I might as well. So yeah.
Gee, yeah. Well, the Duke's single bachelor guy. Does he even have a fridge? We should get a picture of Duke's fridge. Like, outside of condiments, do you think there's anything else in it?
Ground beef. I'll say he's got ground beef and condiments.
Condiments, probably a liter of milk.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe
some beer.
Oh yeah, definitely some beer. But I wonder, is there a vegetable to be seen in his fridge? Or does he know that fruit and vegetables are allowed? Honestly, I wish we could just get him right now. Okay, take a picture, show us right now. Don't go shopping and fill it up right now. Oh my God. Because hey, we've all been there. Most guys can admit, not all, but at the younger ages, your fridge was like this big, if you think about how you filled up every other room in your house, your fridge was just and mine wasn't bad compared to some of my buddies. I remember going to their house and you're just like, What do you even have a fridge for? You might as well just go get one of those little get a cooler. They don't got anything in here. This is wild. Like they'd have mustard and ketchup and some mayonnaise and maybe a loaf of bread. It's a classic.
When I first moved out, I was like loading up on Kool-Aid jammers for some reason. Just having the independence to buy whatever you want. Awesome back then, though.
Yeah. Oh, it's classic. Classic. Cons, have a great day. Looking forward to the game tonight. It's the only NHL game, so all the eyes of the league will be on the Oilers and the Dallas Stars. We'll see how they play. Busy night in the NBA, too. Check it out. We got Walker and Paulson coming up next in the pregame show, so stay tuned for that. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, Oilers and Stars down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson coming up next year on Sports 1440 in the association. 3 games tonight, 1 underway. Wizards up on the Hawks, 59-46 in the second quarter. Later on, you got the Sixers and the Magic and the Clippers taking on the Lakers. The International Testing Agency announcing that Canadian swimmer Penny Oleksiak has been given a 2-year ban from competition for anti-doping rule violations. The ITA stating Oleksiak accepted the suspension for committing 3 whereabouts failures between October 2024 and June 2025. The 25-year-old is Canada's most decorated female Olympian with 7 Olympic medals plus 9 World Championship medals over her career. And sad news today as curling legend Colleen Jones passing away at the age of 65 after a battle with cancer. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, pregame coverage with Andrew Walker. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.